What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. Trying to get my mic volume adjusted, but audio, microphone. I can't even see it. So I'll just say what's up to everybody here on the stream. How y'all doing? It is Friday, and I got to tell you, I needed this Friday. I needed this Friday. It's been a week. Not a bad week, just a week. Hard work pays off, but damn, the payment takes a long time. So eventually, we will see the fruits of this labor. If you had a hard week, if you've been working all week, trying to juggle everything in life, but you got it done, just give yourself a pat on the back and give yourself a shout out because I'm going to give you a shout out right now. Welcome to the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. Thank y'all for coming through. Put a one in the chat if you caught Lapeef Let's Talk last night. I love that conversation. I love that conversation. Had a few last minute cancellations, but we kept it moving. We kept it moving. All right. Got people stepping in, stepping up, and it made for great conversation. So what I want you to do after this stream, I want you to go check that out. That was a dope conversation. Um, the main topic of the night was there is no reward for being a traditional woman. We not only dived into that, chopped that up for a little bit. The first topics, the beginning topics were also dope as well. Also, Mr. Let Go had dropped a card game. So I know y'all want to support your people. I know everybody on these streams are always looking for ways to support the people you like and even the people you don't like simply because they're doing things. And if you want to support, Mr. Let Go has a dope card game. He explains exactly the purpose of the card game in the show last night, right at the beginning and in the middle. So make sure to go look for that dialogue and support him on his um card game called Deeper Conversations. Dope stuff going on there, man. Dope stuff. I'm gonna pick up my copy today. He sent me the link yesterday. All right. I love card games. If you're somebody that likes sitting around, let me tell y'all something about being married. I don't know why people equate, and in fact, I know a lot of young people. A lot of young people equate being married with something boring. But when I tell you sometimes I look forward to being boring because I did too much in my heyday, I look forward to just having some friends over and both families got babysitters and we drinking wine, not even liquor, because liquor be messing me up. I don't know about y'all. We drinking wine and just playing card games like that. Those are the best times I've had honestly, in the last 10 years. I've been to all these sorts of vacations. I've been to Jamaica. I've been to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I've been to Italy in that time frame. The best time that I have is doing stuff like that. Sitting around with close friends who share the same life experiences we do, right? Married with kids, just looking to have a night off, you know what I mean? Drinking some wine, having a good time. Those are the best times to me. So I'm gonna cop the game and invite some friends over and we're gonna play. Hopefully, well, no. In fact, he said the purpose of it. In fact, no, it's good to play with married people to see where our head is at, right? But then I'm gonna have my sisters-in-law and some other folks play. Maybe we'll throw a barbecue for 4th of July. It's almost barbecue season. I gotta clean the grill. That's not ever really fun. You gotta go find my tools. But I gotta clean the grill. It's almost barbecue season. What? We got a month before Memorial Day. School's gonna be out. The pools are gonna be open. Whoo! I can't wait. I cannot wait to get back in the pool. All right. Kenny says, best times are with my wife's mommy group friends. We are all in the same place in life. All right. Bet. Welcome, though. Welcome, everybody, to the Trigger Mike Show. Make sure you take the poll. We have a poll in the chat. For those of you who don't know, we have a poll there for today's topic. Which is better? What is better for you to be, single or married? Make sure you take the poll. And I'd like to give a salute to all our viewers, nationwide and international, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, Southwest, down South. Yes, welcome to everybody nationwide watching the Trigger Mike Show and everybody international, our people in the UK, Africa, New Zealand, Australia, We see you and appreciate you. If you would like to support the show, you can do so by form of super chat. You can do so by form of super chat. Or if you are watching this after the broadcast is over, you can do so by form of super thanks. And we always appreciate your contributions in that way. I'm going to drop the link early because I want y'all to come up and talk to me about this. I don't really have a monologue for this today. I need y'all to tell me. I want to chop it up with y'all, which is better. So y'all tell me what you think. In the chat right now, let me know what you think is better, being single or married. I'm going to read some of those aloud until people come up on the panel and chat with me. I know some of y'all don't feel like working. Nobody works after lunch on Friday. So I know y'all being lazy. I know you sitting at your desk or sitting at home. You ain't doing nothing. Come up and chop it up with your boy today. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Which is better, once and for all? What is the general consensus of the public? Is it better to be single or is it better to be married? Y'all let me know. All right. And why? And why do you think so? Who we got in the chat today? Let me give my shout outs. Alexander Bowles, what's going on? Quincy, what's up? What's up? Always faithful in the chat. Appreciate that. Kenny, what's up? Jill's Chocolate Boutique, always in the building. BZ, how you doing? Mr. He said, always on the stream showing love. We appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. Harris Tribe Media Group. Dragonfly Jones' cousin, what's up? MS Best, good to see you. E Chanel, how you doing? How you doing? D-Town Conversation, my man, always tuning in. Ennis Luby, my man, what's going on? Justin Pearson, what's going on? All right, man, let's get into it, bro. Let's get into it. What y'all got for me? Which is better, to be single or married? I'm going to drop the link again in the chat. Y'all come up and chat with me. But I'm going to read your answers for the meantime. Obviously, I'm not going to monologue about something. I'm married. So y'all already know my position on this. But this topic is for you. I want to see what y'all got to say on the topic because we've heard a lot of stuff. I've heard of a lot of excuses. This week alone, I was watching some YouTubers, unfortunately, women literally having a 2-hour stream on why you should stay single, even though not I know down in my cells, in my atoms, that's not what they mean. Don't let these women trip you up. The second a man takes interest in them and get down on that knee, will you marry me? They'll be bawling, crying. Yes, yes, I'll marry you. Stop listening to these women. They are going to lead you astray because they're not meant to lead you anywhere. I'm not picking on nobody. But ladies, y'all cannot spiritually lead yourself. Don't let a woman lead you into destruction. All right. If you are single, let it be temporary. Figure out what you need. Like, it's not meant for man to be alone. What the hell do you think is meant for woman? I'm just saying. But I want to hear y'all. I want to hear y'all on this. Justin Pearson says, being single is familiar, while you can ascend to new heights or crash to unspeakable lows when it comes to marriage. Marriage is better when you get it right. I like that. I like that. Marriage is better when you get it right. I don't think anybody's actually going to disagree with you. I don't think anybody can disagree with you there. I don't think they can. I think what happens is people are afraid of marriage. People are looking at all the ghosts, all the demons, all of the social media, all of the celebrity marriages falling apart. I don't look at none of those people. I look at who I want to be most like. I tell y'all the same story about where I go to the park with my kids, and I like being around families. I want my kids to see that visual every day if they have a chance. All right. For some reason, in our little cul-de-sac in our area, nobody ever comes outside. But I think everybody got young children. So, but once I go over there, their children are a little older, 7, 8. Those kids want to play. They always outside. They walking. They're doing the betterment, everything for their health together. I love to see it. Marriage is better for everybody, even if single is better for you. Oh, marriage is better for everybody, even if being single is better for you. I got no smoke. I have no smoke for anybody who's single by themselves. who's single by themselves. So if you haven't created any circumstances for you to be accountable for in this world, i.e., children, right? If you don't come from a culture where they're forcing marriage on you for the purpose of legacy and furthering the family name, then by all means, be single if you must. But if you come from any of those circumstances and you just out here playing around willy-nilly and you got 3 kids and all this type of stuff and you don't think it's important for you to get married to show them a good example, you tripping. You're tripping. I'm watching the behaviors of children that did not get it together because their parents weren't married and they didn't have a good example. And you expect me to come on this broadcast today and tell you being single is better? Hell no. Being single is what made my homeboys that are having a hard time in life. Their mom preached being single. My homegirls from college that are having a hard time in life, their moms preach being single. Look at them now, depressed, going to hire male prostitutes in Jamaica to knock them off because they ain't got no man at the crib. Yeah, I said it. Y'all always talking about the passport bros. Y'all never talking about the beginning of it all was the passport sisters. Men that can get women don't need to leave the goddamn country. All right. Let me see. Let me get some more in there. I see you in the back. Ruthless Truth. Come on up. The link is dropped again. Most people are saying married. Let's see. D-Town says married. Kenny says married. Jill's Chocolate Boutique says married. It can't be this many people saying married. And all I hear is people advocating for why they single on YouTube. Let's see. Hack says married, hands down, because the environment it creates is unmatched, even selfishly without children. Woo! Y'all killing it. See, the brain power of the human. Y'all know what this is for. True Table says marriage seems overrated, honestly. He also says for non-competitive men, marriage may work, or non-competitive men, but when you live in access, I'm not sure marriage is ideal. All right. Speaking his thoughts. Alex Keaton says hookup culture isn't the problem. Countries that don't have hookup culture aren't getting married. Well, I wouldn't say there's always something substituting marriage. That's what I will say. So in the Asian countries where they're not getting married, they got robots. It's technology doing it to them. So something is substituting the need for human interaction. So don't get it twisted. It doesn't have to be hook up. You don't got to be hooking up with another human. You could be banging out iRobot. All right. So we got to get the facts straight. Because men are going to bang out something. If you're a man, you already know. Let me bring the panel up. Ruthless Truth. What's going on? JT, come on, Cam, real quick. Give me a thumbs up. My man. Got you. John the Baptist, I didn't see you. If you come up real quick, got you. What's going on, fellas? Happy Friday to y'all, man. Y'all, did everybody get what they wanted on the draft picks last night? Let me know in the chat if you got what you wanted. The Texans got CJ Stroud. I was good. I was good with Young or Stroud, and we got Stroud. We suck. The Rockets and the Texans suck. So I need all the love. I need the Rockets to come up off Wembanyama and everything. Shoot. Tickets gonna sell out around here, but Ruthless Truth, you got the floor, man. What do you got? Opening thoughts.
Hello to Mr. Trigger Mike on the panel. In my opinion, I mean, from what I've seen, I think I'm a little up there in age, so I had a great amount of experience watching and observing and also experiencing. So in this day and age, I just feel like being single, it's safer in a manner of less probability for failure. And we not say that because marriage, statistically speaking, right, is shown by standards that it's not a prosperous, or is it is not conducive to success in this day and age because of the rates of the divorce is so high, and even the ones that are together, they're really not seeing eye to eye. Um, because the problem with marriage is it's a lot of pressure, right? It's a lot of pressure to try to achieve a lifetime goal with someone, and not fall out in love with the other. To hit on every point, to be agreeable as much as possible, as much as you can. It's just not really, for the majority. It's just not really a successful formula. So and especially when now that the laws are favoring towards the women, right? They're more incentivized to, you know what, move on from you. That's a lot to deal with for someone to be hurt and potentially destroy the family dynamics. So with that being said, I think it's better. I mean, I think it's safer, right? Safer, because if you're single, you don't really have to worry about. You don't really have to worry about nobody taking your stuff, or you don't have to really worry about, right, somebody falling out of love with you, and because they sold you this lie that they can't honor the contract which you guys both agreed to, right? Till death do us part, right? So that's a lot for a man to lose, not only money wise but emotionally wise. When you talk about marriage, but with single, then you leave yourself leeway, right? It's a little bit easier to walk away because now you're not living in let's say a illusion of a great potential, I would say, romance. And once that is crushed, that could crush somebody's heart. So that's my opinion. I think it's safer to be single.
All right. So, do you think it's safer to be single with children?
Say yes, because then at least the kids are, see, that's the thing, right? There's too many houses been burned down, right? So at least if they come in the world and it's already understood what it is, where you're co-parenting and you're able to keep that balance, then it is not, the kids don't ever have to worry about getting their hopes destroyed, right? It doesn't have to, they already know what it is. It's worse when you're married, you have kids, all of a sudden the kids ask the question, why is mom and dad not together no more, right? That's a lot more harder for a kid to deal with.
So, a potential bad example is worse than no example. That's
Yes.
what you're saying? All right.
Yes. Because I mean, just with the numbers, going on the numbers alone, it would be. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're married and you get divorced, it's just like you're single anyway, right? You're going right back. You're reverting back to the same thing you was trying to get away from, and it is not on the man's side or the woman's side to try to work something out that when both of them are quitters and both of them leave. It's just the numbers don't say that. Hey, get married. You're going to have a better chance.
Okay. My man JT, good afternoon to you. Get in on
Good
this.
afternoon, man. So I would say if we're speaking in generalities, I would say marriage, of course, is always gonna be better than being single. But if we look at the overall picture, I don't think everybody is built for marriage. There are some people that they just not built for marriage, and there's some people that don't deserve marriage, and they definitely don't deserve kids either. Um, as far as what the guy before me said, in my personal opinion, I think it's gonna be very hard for a marriage to be worse than a single child, or whether that's with the biological parents together or with a different mom or dad or with the third or fourth different mom or dad. I think it's gonna be extremely hard for that situation to be worse than the single parent household. Everybody ain't built for marriage. Everybody ain't built for kids, and that's the common problem we have right now is that some people know they're not built for marriage, but they think they still built for kids. Or some people know they're not eligible for marriage. They're not willing to change their ways to be married, so they just go have their kid and then go take them by themselves and stay on that side. So that's my opening statement.
All right, let's get John the Baptist in there.
Good morning to the panel.
Good morning.
Or I guess I should say afternoon now, right? My bad, afternoon.
Yep.
As I always say, Trigger Mike is always your fault. So, hey.
Yeah, I'm starting to agree. I'm starting to agree.
But what I want to say, my open statement is, who cares what Trigger Mike thinks? Who cares what Ruthless thinks? Who cares what JT thinks? Who cares what that man with the LeBron avatar? Who cares what he thinks? Who most definitely who cares what our pain thinks? Nobody cares what our pain thinks at all. What we want to talk about for this morning is, what did God say through Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, 1 through 3? Let's see what God says about this situation. Now concerning the things whereof you wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own 304. Nope, not 304. Let every man ever have his own side chick. Nope, not side chick. He didn't say side chick. Let every man have his own wife. Let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. That's what we care about, is what God said, not what everybody else said. I'm out.
All right, Mr. Rich.
It's pretty funny how John the Baptist dissed the guy with his wife in his avatar as somebody who who don't know what he's talking about. But that's cool. Hey, listen, it's kind of funny that this has come up. A couple of days ago, I was on Anton Daniels' channel, and he posed a question, and he went on one of his famous rants. Why should a successful man at 38 years old, unmarried, ever get married under the current laws and situations? And he wanted people to come up and challenge him on why or why not. No, not why, but why not? Right. So he had a hypothesis of, saying, hey, listen, don't get married if you're successful. And I got on and, impromptu. So I'm putting the post together saying what I said to him versus what I should have said. Now that I got a couple of times, a couple of days to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an appropriate, kind of conversation, because what I want to say here is all the stuff I should have said to his ass when he was trying to say marriage was no good, being a whole married man with a kid and successful himself.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get past the opening thoughts, but some of the things I'm saying is, I don't know how you build communities. I don't know how you propagate value systems. I don't know how you do any of that stuff if everybody's running solo.
Yep.
And I think being single is kind of the antithesis of our nature as human beings. We cleave to one another, men and women. And the reason why we have so much turmoil and issues in our society is because everything that society is proposing and pushing is trying to keep people apart. Everything. And mostly if you follow the money, there's financial reasons for that. And whoever's sitting at the top, the cabals who are sitting at the top, doing whatever they're doing to socially manipulate the population, black men, black women, white women, transgenders, all that kind of crap, is trying to keep people separate. And I think marriage is the one thing that kind of puts a stop on that. That's why there's so much against it. So we'll talk about that as we go forward.
All right. That's dope. Let me get these super chats read. Thank y'all for coming into the Trigger Mike show on the Lapeef Network. All right. We got Furious Style says, Do you think love languages are overemphasized? Absolutely.
Yes,
All of
absolutely.
this
It's a joke.
bullshit is
It's a
listen,
joke.
It's
the more
absolutely bullshit.
secular you try to make simple things, right, outside the bounds of how we traditionally know them, the more relationships fail. All of this love language bullshit, all of this, you're supposed to vent to your husband's a great listener. All this is bullshit. It's trying to create a new versions of men that eventually end up feminizing and emasculating a man, so he's reduced to a woman's homegirl, right? It's just dumb. It's dumb. No, it's overemphasized, and
And she's
it
not gonna
honestly,
want him
it's
then.
not even true. What it's trying to do is get a man to serve a woman. I ain't never heard a man say, "You need to speak my love language." That's all. It's just stuff trying to get a man to serve a woman in a certain way. That's it.
Hey, Trigger Mike.
Yeah.
To add to that love language stuff, most people get that. I think most people get that concept of love language wrong, and this is why I say that. Love language. When I talk, okay, like I'm American. I speak broken English, but I speak English, broken English. Trigger Mike is Nigerian. You speak Nigerian. You don't know how to land a plane. But the point is,
I was like, I speak English. What are you talking about?
but the main thought is this though. When I speak to you in my native tongue, and if you spoke in your native tongue, which I'm just assuming that you just by saying your background is Nigerian, just to make the point,
Mhm.
I would speak English in the language that I spoke. That's just so you let you know how I communicate. That's my communication. It represents me, what I do. Love language is the same concept. It's how you speak. It's how you show your affection to others. So for example, my affection. So one of my things is once you know me and you know and I'm comfortable with you, one of the ways I express affection towards you, whether you and this is not to be mean, gay, or anything, is that I'm a physical type person. If you do, sometimes I may throw punches with you. It don't mean I hate you. It just that mean, hey, you cool with me. If it with my wife, sometimes with my wife, I just pat on her leg or whatever because let her know that I'm affectionate towards her. I care about you. That's how I speak. Now my wife doesn't speak the same way I speak. She speaks through acts of service. That's just how I interpret love language.
Yep. Acts of service. That's really all it is. It's
Yep.
they just trying to create a new name for everything that already had a name. It was just attached to them doing service. Therefore, they want to change it around so a man has to service them in a certain way. And then they end up leaving the fool because they'll call him weak, call him over emotional, or whatever, for a dude who does none of that shit. It's all a smokescreen.
And
All right, Ennis Luby, foreign currency. Coffee date number 2 in the books. This might be the one. Ennis, you got a new girl? First off, Ennis, I need you to do me a favor, bro. Don't ever say date number 2. This might be the one. That's how
This
dudes.
might be the one.
Yeah, you have no idea. Date number 2, you don't know. Just give a thumbs up.
Man, don't step on my man's parade, man. Listen,
Nah, I'm
he
stepping on the
talked
parade,
about her
bro.
once
No,
before.
this is why I got to do it. This is why I got to do it. Because dude, it's better that men don't get their hopes up about a woman at all.
Let him get his hopes up,
In fact,
man.
you could get all the way up to the point where you love the woman. Let it be a surprise to you.
No.
Never-
Tell him this, Mike.
Yeah.
Get your hopes up, but understand, you fall in love, but to her it's still a business.
That's why he shouldn't fall in love. Like
No.
you
But
literally
no,
said,
if you
This
know
this
what
this coming from the same men that say you should marry in a year.
hey, listen, it's still a business. I never forgot. For
just-
38 years,
I know
no,
that.
I'm just saying, women are mercurial, and the part that I'm really trying to emphasize is that you got to get down to the bottom of it, to breaking her down, to get her true nature out. I think women are very good, especially women of today, at being chameleons. They'll be whatever version they need to be to get on your good side, to get more
And
dates,
Mike,
whatever.
why don't you tell
disagree
the
with
man that?
Just,
But
That's
listen,
why I
man,
think it takes longer than a year to marry
let me
one.
finish this, JT. I'll let you go. Tell the man to go to my page and look at my 10 steps to courting and vetting a woman. The very first one is non-secular, by the way, John the Baptist. Anyhow, tell him to go there and listen to that video. If he gets one nugget, he'll be better off than he is now.
That's what's up,
So-
Louie. Though we
so-
wish you luck on that, man, because it's not good for men to be alone. So if you got a shorty that's rocking with you, I'm down with that.
So I will
Auntie
say
Shay,
this
what's
though.
going
I
on?
will say this. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, John the Baptist.
I will say this though. It doesn't take long to find out if a woman is submissive or not, or traditional or not. You can find that out within 1 or 2 days. That doesn't take long. To find out if she's the one for you, it's gonna take a little bit more research. And it don't take a whole bunch of vetting all this stuff to figure out the first step at all. It's just you just paying attention to her. You can know that within the first hour or so. So yeah, but as far as but announcing it to the world that this might be the one, 2 days is too soon.
Hey, John, I got a question for you, John.
You said
So
second
you
coffee.
I gotta say
Oh my
something.
God.
I got a
I gotta
question
say
for
something.
John.
Wait a
Hey,
minute.
hold on. Let me ask John this question real quick. It is pertaining to what he just said. He said it doesn't take long to find out. This is a genuine question too. He said it doesn't take long to find out if a woman is submissive or not. Um, I would say, do you think that's true for every woman, especially when a lot of women are trying to teach other women to not be submissive until they get married?
Listen, John
It's
got
not.
married during Jim Crow. Okay, so he don't know what he talking about. He don't date these women of today. He don't date these women of today.
That's a genuine question though. I'm just
But
curious.
let me say this,
You should ask
John.
me.
I do
We come
know, but
from
go
well,
ahead.
not even we come from because I was
He
I
asked
was
me.
more
He asked
so.
me a question, but go
I
ahead.
know. I'm just go ahead. Respond.
No, go
I
ahead.
have
Go
a
ahead.
question.
I forgot. No, hold on, Auntie J. Hold on for a second, please, Auntie J. Please hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Trigger Mike. This is your show. I forgot who I was talking to. My bad. My apologies
No,
on that.
no,
Go
no
ahead.
doubt, no doubt. I'm just saying that the women of today, everybody likes dating today. That's why it's so hard to get down to who a person is. All right, so you've heard me speak on how you need to get to know a person organically. I honestly want dudes to mess with women they've known from their childhood because that's hard to mistake who a person is. It's hard to mistake somebody you've known from middle school, high school. You've seen them in the heat of every situation. You see how they react when, in a fight, all that type of stuff. I purposely want people to do that so they can get around this women faking who they are during the dating process thing. But go ahead, John.
Okay,
Mike,
so
I need y'all
hold on.
help. Wait a minute.
He said John. He said John. Auntie, hold on, Auntie.
Oh,
I got you, Auntie. Hold on 1 second.
this
We
is so
got you.
important, though. Okay, go
I
ahead.
got you. I got you. I
Remember,
got
just
you.
remember, Auntie. Just remember.
So
Okay.
so what Trigger was saying is one context that can be taken in. That's one thing that can be taken in consideration too as well. Also, you can also see. I didn't say if if you're going to marry this woman, but you can tell if she's submissive or if she's submissive. You can tell within a few conversations with the individual. You don't have to spend a lifetime to find this one submissive. Now, whether you guys are compatible, that's for a man to figure out. That may take a little bit more time. One thing that I will always say is don't waste time with someone who you find out who's automatically not submissive. It's not going to follow. It's not going to follow anybody's program. That part, it's going to take a little bit of time to see if she's going to be your lifetime partner. Though it may take a little bit more time.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Can I go now?
You remember?
Yep.
Can I go now?
Yes,
Yes.
you can.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so hey y'all, how everybody doing? Mike, I need help. And Rufus, can y'all get in touch with JP? I was sending him, and I was getting ready to send y'all some money. I accidentally sent JP $200. I want him to send it back because I was only sending him 20. So is there any way y'all can get in touch with him?
I'll hit him up on IG right now.
Yeah, tell him give me my
I got
damn
you.
money.
Hold up. I got you.
That might be gone, TJ.
I was about to
It
say,
ain't gone. You can't
It's
spend it that
gone.
quick.
if
It's
his
gone,
phone is
Auntie.
magically broke, then
He
It's
giving
gone.
me my money. I already
It's-
helped you with your truck. It ain't gone.
It's some course.
TJ, that was important. My bad. That was very, very important to you.
It's-
That's very important.
time is ticking because
Time is
look
of
up,
the essence. Give my damn money.
a
hey,
dude
Auntie,
like
look up
JP already
the definition of sunk cost.
No,
What?
I believe that I'm gonna get my money. Rufus, am I gonna get my money back?
What'd you say, Payne?
I said, look up the definition of sunk cost.
Mike, what did you say?
Oh, okay.
I'm sending him a message on IG right now.
Mike got you covered.
I'm
Let's see if
sending
he
it to his
responds.
phone too. I forgot I got his phone number. Hold on.
You got his phone number. Mike, call him. Commentary.
Hell no, Auntie J, I ain't gonna do that to that man
He's on
like
the,
that.
he's on the
What
thing.
you mean?
God code. Okay, I'm invoking God code. I ain't gonna embarrass you.
Oh, Mike, I need the money back. I'm asking him
Yeah,
for
I'm
$200.
contacting him for you. Hold on,
Thank you.
no doubt.
Rufus, you ain't trying to help me, are you? You just sitting there.
All right. Opening thoughts on the topic. Who we got up next? Paolo.
Hey, ask Auntie what she got on the topic.
Oh,
Nah,
I think she came up just for that 200. That
She came
No,
up for
I
the money.
didn't.
She
I
got
didn't.
200 on the topic. You hear me?
She
She got
doesn't want to
200 on
talk
the
about
topic.
nothing. She get her money back.
I still have. I think that it's better to be married because there's so much certainty with marriage to me. Um, it's just a wonderful.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
her phone ring. So yeah,
To be with the
she was.
same person. The consistency, I love that.
Persistency.
Yeah, the consistency because I know he's gonna be here. I actually, and the best part I like is when we get in the bed at night, and my skin is on his skin. It's. I just love being married. I
That's
wouldn't change it for the world.
That's the opening line to a romantic novel. Like my skin touching her skin.
Skin to skin, right?
Look at y'all face.
They looking like, what is she talking about?
There you go, Auntie. Guys, what's going on?
Oh, wow. Who is laughing? That's not
That's
even
so
Auntie J. Who was laughing like that? Wait,
That's not me.
is that?
Pascal Blank. That's not me either.
Yo,
Man.
that was Granville.
Yeah.
Yo, do y'all see y'all face? Do y'all see y'all face right
When I said skin to skin.
That's an opening line for a novel, man. My skin touching
Yeah.
her skin.
Hey,
My skin touching your skin.
Granville, that laugh is demonic, bro. You got to work on that.
It is.
That's worse than Chucky or whoever. If I heard that in the middle of the night,
Oh
bro,
man.
I'm
I picked a good day to come by you old heads today.
All right, let's get Paolo in there. Opening thoughts on the
So
topic.
you called him, Mike?
I sent him a text and a message. I'm gonna give
Gotta
him a
have
call.
your
Maybe
Auntie.
Man, that 200 gone, man.
Shut
That
up,
shit in the
shut
way.
up.
I ain't gonna lie.
He ain't gonna lie.
Let me get in on this. Let me get in on this. Look, my opening thoughts are it's going to be slightly different in regards to where I'm coming on this. I think marriage is based for men
Paolo,
with
turn your mic
good
up, bro.
Yeah, turn your mic
Turn
up a
your mic
little,
up.
please, brother.
We good?
Little high.
Man,
Sound
talking
better.
like he in a subwoofer.
Go
How about
ahead.
that?
Go ahead.
Say
Sound better.
We good?
Yeah, try it out.
All right. So my angle on this is going to be slightly different. It's going to come from.
Keep going.
There you go. I'm going to come from this sort of angle. Men with good values, strong principles, is best with marriage, and I think Payne, you've touched on this. There's a level of preservation that we require for values and principles that we want to see in our society to help build a society where our children, our grandchildren, is going to live in. For those who don't really stand on values and principle to that degree, maybe being single is best for you. And the harsh reality is this: you will outbreed yourself from the genetic pool, and a lot of the values that you have will never be carried on. So if that's your aim as a person, then great. For me, in the way that I look at marriage, I'm married to a lovely woman for 7 years, going on 8. I want to preserve the principles and values I stand on. That's how deeply I feel about the things that I believe in. And to pass that on to my children and to my children's children is something that's very, very important to me. A lot of the vision that I have, I've explained to my children, I will never realize it, and I will never see the day that they come into fruition. So my belief is there's a level of foresight there. So I'm not going to hit it from the biblical standpoint, more biologically, but yeah, that's how I see it. It is best for men with good, strong principles and values.
That is true. That is true. That is true. Marriage is not something that everybody was even allowed to engage into until you know, even without in the secular sense. It's like you had to have certain things to engage in it. Basically, show yourself, prove yourself to be a person of good character, good moral character, all that stuff. Have the means to provide for the lady and the children. Got to have a dowry. Go get a goat or two. You know, all that type of stuff from back in the day. So yeah, it does have historical. Yeah, it does have historical.
Not today.
Definitely not today. Granville, Chucky,
What's up?
what you got on the topic, bro?
Oh no, what's that
What's the
thing?
question?
What's the thing for pizza? The Noid. You guys remember the Noid?
And there you go. You talking about something from 1867? We don't know. We don't know.
The
Y'all ain't got
Noid,
no
the
good
Noid
memory, enough memory to
from
remember.
Domino's Pizza. Y'all remember Noid from Domino's Pizza?
No.
No, we don't remember stuff from when it was in black and white.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Noid.
What's the question?
Opening thoughts on the topic: single or married, which is better?
Oh, single or married? Definitely single.
Why?
Being married is a waste these days
Why is that? Elaborate.
because everybody's on shaky ground. Nobody stands for anything anymore. There's no commitment in this world. No consistency. No real love. No more selfishness. Selflessness. I'm sorry, selflessness. Everyone's selfish. Everybody's out for them, what they can get the best of. They don't care about the other person.
Well, I think you're just giving basically a statement about current events, but why is single better?
No, that's my singles better. You know why singles better? Because you wouldn't get fucked over.
All right,
Nobody
take it over.
cares about anybody else.
But economically, is it what's best for people?
Oh, economically? No, probably not.
All right. The youngin has spoken. Ennis came up.
You're not just talking about economics, though, Mike. You're talking about the whole thing.
I'm talking. Yeah, I'm really talking about the whole thing. Just
okay.
Marriage is an all-encompassing institution. So you should think about everything you won't get being single. Because people rarely answer. Do y'all
Can I
know
ask about
people
that?
rarely answer these questions with any degree of foresight? They literally just talk about now and what's going on and how they feel right
Sugar
now.
Mike,
Yeah, go ahead.
can I ask you a question? Economically, what can I do that a married couple can't? I get the tax breaks. I get the tax breaks. I get
Not the
certain
same ones.
avenues I can use and stuff.
You don't get the same ones. You don't get the same tax.
No. I definitely know I can't. Yeah. That's about the best bright side that I see.
Well, you heard me
about
say
marriage.
in the beginning. I said men can do the single thing. Well, I didn't say that, but men can do the single thing a lot longer than women can, simply based off work ethic and capacity for work. So, in your specific job, you can actually do that job. You're going to be sinning all over the damn place because you're going to have women in city. Your level of anxiety is going to go up. But if you can maintain that without having children, I don't think anybody can make a case against you to say being single is better. You will just live a different life.
Yeah.
Once you have children,
Yeah.
that is when you start moving into shaky ground and lose all credibility that not being married would be better for you.
Right.
Because
That's
you're
when
literally going to get gutted 30 different ways.
That. The only thing that's gonna stop me from being single with the better outcome is children. Children will literally ruin a single person's life.
I mean, I wouldn't say it that way, but I guess you're right.
But it's the truth. It's the truth. Children will ruin a single person's life.
And how is that possible?
They could also build a single
The stress. The stress.
Look at it like this.
The stress. Two different homes. You're not being there with your child. You're not there with your child. You have to live in a different home. They have to travel. You have all kind of stuff, emotional damage and shit. Your child not able to wake up to you in the morning. You're not able to put them to sleep every night. You can't be there for most of their things and stuff when you need them at that point in time. They don't wake up to you in the morning. That plays a lot.
It's definitely right on that one.
Most
we got two people. We got two people waiting on theirs though. Let's be fair to them too.
All right. Ennis, he came up to deal with us talking about his coffee date. We want to know about the coffee date, one.
Yeah, you can
And we
find out
want to know
about the
about the
coffee date.
woman and why you think she's the one.
Yeah. Firstly, I need to address what he just said about. He said being single, it ruined your life. I gotta reverse that. Being single, you ruin the kids' lives more than anything else. That's the people that got ruined, the kids, because later on in life they have no clue. So that's the first part. Secondly, being married is the best option available because we always talk about communities and building communities. And how do we build communities if everyone stays single? If everyone stays single, we can forget about building and being a better community or whatever. It's the end. So all those people voting for single, hey, well, they could go down with that shit. So that's that part. And the coffee date is the bomb. I've dated quite a few women, and when you can speak to someone and you flex your ideas, you flex your opinion, you like, this is what we're going, this is the direction we're going in. Yeah, we know how to do sex. That's the easy part. This is the business plan, and like let's talk about the business plan. This is what I want to do. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, that's what's up. So when I say this might be the one, this might be the one. It's going to take a bit more time, but this might be the one.
Yeah, brother. All I can say is keep moving.
You can't say anything. You can't say anything. No, you can't. No, you can't say anything. You can't say anything because every time you actually you present something positive to people, they give you all the naysay and the bad.
I was going to give you a negative. I wasn't going to give you a negative. I was not going to give you a negative.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, just stay red pill. Just understand that no matter how infatuated you are,
it's not. See, there you go with infatuation and the BS. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Because you got to present. Watch out. You got to watch out. It's always the big watch out, dude. I'm 52 years old. I've been through some shit. I've been married already. I know to watch out.
You're what?
I'm 52. I've been married before, and I know to watch out.
You agree with me?
God damn, I look older than
you.
No,
but I don't need to. I don't need to put it out there to the young. I don't need to put it out there to the young.
Let that man fail in peace. Let him fail in peace.
Hey, Pain.
Exactly. We need the trades and all of that.
We know that's a grown man.
I don't want that man to be in love. Let that man be in love.
It ain't even in love. It ain't even in love. It's in the right direction.
At least you headed in the right direction, man.
Brother, what's up?
Salute.
Mr. Speculation, I got a question for you. You said you divorced?
Who are you talking to?
He obviously didn't figure it out the first time.
Mr. Speculation.
Let him fail again.
Hold on. Mr. Speculation, I just want to know, are you divorced?
Yeah, I got divorced probably about 15 years ago.
And you're saying that marriage is better?
Damn.
That marriage is definitely better. I picked the wrong, because I learned from it. I knew what I did. When I got married the first time, I got married for what I saw, not for the results or the outcome that I wanted.
So he agrees with everything I said, but he don't want me to say it.
Y'all let that man. That's a grown man. Let him live.
But it's a huge difference. This is not being caught up in what is being seen this time. It has nothing to do with what he looks like.
He said, he's 52. He's been divorced for 15 years. He's done lived and learned. He knows exactly what he's going through now. That man is 52. That man can call his own shots.
Okay.
That's what I don't get. It's like we don't listen to like if there's a positive story, if there's a good story going forward, how we can help others. We gotta watch out. That's what happened.
No, brother, unless it's trying to help
it's not even a matter of not wanting help. It's not even a matter of not wanting any help.
I'll send you a present, man. With no.
The only person invited is Brother Hink and Trigger Mike. Remember?
So let's get back. We got a couple more people that gotta get their opening thoughts in too. Let's keep the thing moving.
All right, I gotta get my opening thoughts in.
You already got yours. Noe. We're looking for Trey. I think Trey is intended.
Why you gotta be so mean? Why you gotta be so mean?
I think Trey and Hink, I think ain't win yet.
Boy, look at the forehead on this guy.
Hey, Granville, did he salute with that big ass thing? Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead, Trey.
Third.
This is simple to me. Obviously, this is another situation where a lot of the guys here need a software update, and they constantly want to force this marriage thing down younger guys' throats. It doesn't make sense in 2023. Maybe it made sense in 1823, but in 2023, it doesn't make sense to get married as a man. And I think a lot of younger men are figuring this out. They're hip to it now. They understand this is a bad idea. And this is why I feel as though marriage is for broke people. If you don't have any assets, if you don't have anything to lose, yeah, sure, go ahead, get married. If you make $40,000 a year and she makes $40,000 a year, yes, go ahead, get married because you don't have anything to lose. There's no way in the world, me at 38 years old, who has bought 2 rental properties and has a stock portfolio and retired at 35 years old, there's no way in the world I would ever get married. The laws aren't on my side, and whether you guys want to say it or not, business is business. And unless you want to take the government out of this marriage, it's business. Now, I get all the other parts of it. I get the idea of being, helping to build the community. I'm with all of that. But unfortunately, until you eradicate the government out of marriages, it's a trash decision for men who have worked themselves up to a certain point. It's terrible. And I hate it just irritates me to hear it all the time because it's everywhere on YouTube. It's a talking point, and it's usually coming from.
No, hold on, Payne. Let him go. Let him finish.
I was just going to ask him a question.
No, Payne. Let him finish, Payne.
Let him finish. No, let him go, man. Finish what you saying, Trey.
I am going to let him finish.
Just stand down, baby. OG, stand down, baby. We got you. Go ahead, Trey.
It's typically coming from guys who've been married for 10, 15, 20 years. You haven't dated a woman in 2020, let alone in 2010. You have no idea what it's like to date these women these days. You have no idea the mindset and the mentality that they have. They're selfish. They're entitled. And maybe that hasn't changed. I don't know. I wasn't trying to I was born in 84. So I don't know. Maybe it was the same way back in the 80s and the 90s. But from what I can see right now, most of these women aren't even marriage material. They're not even worth getting married to. So as far as I'm concerned, the best thing a man can do is be single. I just told a friend of mine he wants to have kids. I told him to hire a surrogate. Don't even deal with a woman. Just hire a surrogate. Just leave them. You have to find a way to cut women completely out of it when it comes to this connection that involves the government. We have to find a way to get away from it. Otherwise, you're gonna see more and more men deleting themselves and being put in horrible situations. Last thing, I'll land with this. I had a friend that was married for 10 years. I met him when I was in the military. He was married for 10 years. He had worked his way up. He got out of the military. He started a contracting business. His wife divorced him. He found out he was going to lose the house. He was going to lose a portion of the retirement that he built up. This man tried to delete himself. Oh, and he lost his kids. And we had to fly to him. He lived in Connecticut. We had to fly to him, and three of us had to sit in there with him and just basically babysit him because he was that depressed. We wanted to fly his father in so his father could be with him. This man was going to delete himself because he was losing everything that he worked for. This is horrible. Marriage is terrible these days. I'll leave it at that.
So let me ask you a question, and
Hold
you
on,
hit
man.
it.
Let's
Ask
get.
him a question, hey, John.
No, bro. We got to get through opening thoughts, man. It shouldn't take 2 hours.
Brother Payne, yeah, let's get.
Ask him a question.
No, Brother Payne, ask him a question after everybody goes. All right.
I thought everybody take. Okay, who didn't?
I haven't went yet, and my man Forehead ain't went yet. So go ahead. What's my man's name? Enoch? Eken? Enike?
Yeah.
Ekene, just say the letters, okay? Don't try to say the word, just say the letter. Yeah, how you doing, Hinks?
Go ahead,
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. Hinks, how you doing too?
What's going on?
Nothing much. What's going on, Ben?
Your opening thoughts, brother. We waiting for your opening thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta say this to you guys, right? We getting married is a virtuous thing to do. You're not doing it because because it's the right thing to do. You're not doing it because it's the wrong thing to do. But just like it's not proper for a woman to raise a child by herself, it's not proper for a man to raise a child by himself. If a man raise a man, he raise a man, a warrior without understanding of having passion, because you just raise a warrior, but you don't also raise the feminine touch when you raise a man. If you raise a woman, you end up raising a warrior without femininity as a man. So goes with a woman raising a son or raising a daughter. It's very, very imperative that both parents are in one house to raise a child or to raise children. If anyone tells you that being married is a 18 something century, that person is lying to himself or herself and to nature. That is the only way this country or the world can remain dysfunctional and continue to be dysfunctional, worstly dysfunctional. It can never be good if you have that thought in your mind. So my opening statement is a virtuous thing for the interest of the children for both parents to be in one house, to be married. Not baby daddy, not baby mama, but to be married.
Right on, big bro. Okay, now let me say this: as far
Lie
as
to them hoes.
the marriage thing, look, at one time I took Trey's mindset. Right, I was that guy, just like Trey was, but I had to go to therapy. It took a couple years before my mindset changed. Till I'm to the point right now where I'm okay with marriage, getting remarried. So I got divorced in 2016. 2023, I'm still looking at marriage. Now, when Trey talk about being out there and dating, yes, I have. And so I seen both sides. I seen some selfish ass heifers, but I seen some good ladies, man. So I seen the best of both worlds. So, with that being said, would I encourage? Always encourage my son to get married. But a thing about it is, there's laws in states. So whatever you accumulate pre-married, you end up more likely. It's not. It's not part of the deal. So it's not part of the deal. So you're protected on that. You just need to learn your laws in your state. Let me say that for any young man, before you get married, and I tell them even about child support, your family court laws. You need to know all of that shit. God damn, quit doing that, Mike. you need to do all of that good stuff, man. Because if you don't, you're gonna set yourself up for failure, right? So find out whatever the marital laws is in your state, man, and adjust accordingly. If you're a man who feels uncomfortable about getting married and you're a little worried or you're nervous about it, find out the laws and see what you're entitled to and what you're not entitled to. See what would be involved if, worst case scenario, you get divorced again. Find all of those things out. Get the information that you need. Do the research. That's what I'm gonna encourage my son to do. I'm gonna definitely encourage my son because I live and learn. So hold on, Rufus. Again, I'm open for it. So and as far as to talk about raising kids, single, man, my preference, I will still want to be married and finish raising my son. Now my son's 17. He's damn near almost way out of his house. He's about to go to college this time next year. He'll be in college playing ball. So he's damn near going to be on his own pretty much. We're going to still coach him up, still give him advice, still be there for him and support him. But he's damn near going to be on his own. His personality's already developed. His mindset's getting there where it needs to be at because I've been working with him. It's not a time I don't. Me and my ex-wife have a good co-parent relationship. I keep my son 4 days a week. She gets him 3. And that's how we do. She understands a boy needs to be with his son. That's why I get majority of the time because he needs to be there with me. So to sit there and say to raise a child by yourself, that makes no sense. Financially, it makes no sense. It'll wreck you. That's the reason why most of these people got to get this. welfare now because of kids, not because of themselves, or they can't raise enough money being a single person with no child and no dependents. It's because they have kids that that need that extra. That's going to cost you for the extra income. So yeah, that would make no sense for any man to go out there and try. And then not only the dynamic of that, having both parents, man, it pours so much in. Because look at me, I'm hard as hell on my son, but my son also needs that softer side. I don't bring that to him as much. Now, there's sometimes I do when I realize, goddamn, hey, you being a goddamn asshole to your son, and I soften up. But his mother's gonna be like that on a regular basis. You know, the yin and the yang. That's what's gonna offset shit. So you need both parents in their lives if all possible. Now I know sometimes shit just don't work out. It just don't work out. Find a way to co-parent the best way you can. I rest myself
Right.
and
Can I speak now? Can I speak now?
Yes,
Hell no,
yes,
you
Mr.
can't
Payne.
don't say a goddamn
Thank
thing.
you, thank you, gentlemen. And well, Trey, you hit on a couple of things I talked to Anton about because he was adamant, just like you, about a man who's successful shouldn't get married at all. So I said, well, what's the sense of having all that wealth, all that power, and you don't have anybody to share it with or anybody to leave it to? I said, what
I
about
get to use it.
Wait, let me finish. What about surrogacy? Well, you know, Michael Jackson bought his kids, even though that's not his, but that's what he did, supposedly. And so we have to. So if we're going to tell people not to get married because there's a lot of legitimate reasons, I agree with Hank. Prenups and the state you get married in matters, and there's a lot of mitigation. We buy insurance for everything. So a prenup is really marriage insurance for a man who's successful. And I think there's steps to go through it, and where she can't contest it, and all of that kind of stuff. Now, she can contest it, but if it's solid, it doesn't get thrown out like people think. That's a myth. But even if you don't want to get married, but you want to have a legacy, is it better just to have illegitimate kids running around, or do you want to find a way to have children? Because I don't see how life can be without having kids when you have a 10-bedroom mansion and nobody to fill it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Who has a 10-bedroom mansion? Why are we so extreme?
Get 10 different
Why
women.
are we so extreme?
A woman in each room.
Let me finish, man. You can say anything.
Is there
I'm
a
a
question
right
in
here.
this?
I'm a
Is there a
landed
question
right
in
here.
this?
Let me just let it. Whoever's talking, let me finish. So all I'm just saying is, you have to have somebody to fill it with, unless you want to be alone. It's a choice. It's all of it is a choice, but it doesn't make sense because I think it's antithetical to our nature to be alone in that fashion. It's just true.
So are we saying that if you're not married, you're alone?
Well, yeah, I'm talking about you can have people.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I am saying that. You know why? How many people say
that's a
I got
ridiculous
all these
notion to
people
say
around
that.
my orbit, but I still feel alone?
So you're saying that the men that are out here right now that are not married, they're alone.
I'm saying that this is not uncommon for people to have a whole bunch of people around them and still feel lonely.
That's not my question. My question is there
that's
are
my
people
answer
who are
to your cynical question. That's my cynical answer.
Who are not married? Are they alone? Because there's a difference between being lonely and being alone.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Brother Payne, you did say you had a question, and I didn't hear a damn question.
There was no question.
No, I did. Well, I did. My question was, well, first of all, you didn't let me speak because y'all were beating my ass down. So the fact is, he hit on what I was going to ask him.
Man, he don't. He
hit on the answer. My question was about surrogacy. I was going to ask him that. Then he hit on it after y'all browbeat me to shut up. And so I'm just saying. So we didn't disagree because you got to give people alternatives. You can't just be 38, 40 with all of these riches. And if you want kids, how are you going to do it?
So
I just gave you an alternative.
Hold
on. I gave you an alternative. You didn't like it. I gave you an alternative, and you didn't like it. The alternative was.
I did like it. I did like the surrogacy.
The alternative was.
Trey, hold on. Brother Payne, ask your question again so we can answer. Ask your question again, Brother Payne.
Yeah, but the point was,
No, the question. We want the question.
He doesn't have a question.
All right, y'all. Let him finish so I can move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on. The question really is, if you're gonna have all this stuff, how are you gonna have a legacy? How are you gonna have a family? He answered that. He said surrogacy.
They're not interested. They're not interested. This is They're not interested. They've seen the pain that comes with the other side of failed marriages, so they're not interested. So asking that question is, to me, makes no point, because Trey's obviously set foot in the experience that he's seen around him, so that's his decision. And like I said before, look, it's best for people with good principles and values, and they can preserve that long term. And for people who've seen the dark side of marriages, I guess, will outbreed themselves. And to them, it seems like a logical decision for them to go through that as a path of life. And that's to re-ask them a question, try to reconvince them, there's no point to it.
And I can understand, like I said in what I was saying, I can understand where Trey's coming from, because I walked down that same street. It wasn't until I had to get some therapy before I had a change of a mindset. Now, maybe that's what Trey needs. Or maybe just Trey fixed on and said, fuck this. I don't give a damn what the man said. I'm not doing it.
I don't think nothing's wrong with what Trey said.
Calm down, man. I'm not saying there's something wrong with what he's saying. I'm saying I can't fault him for his stance. I'm not down in the man. I'm not gonna criticize him. I understand.
And I'm with Trey. I think everything he said is right. I feel like, hold on, y'all.
Let me say that
we as men, we need to recognize other men's things, man. Hold on, bro. Trying to figure out how we should do things right. Women are doing things wrong.
Mr.
Hold on, baby.
I got
it.
Brandon need $2. The fool said in his heart, there is no God. All right. So, welcome to the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. Damn, took an hour and a half for opening thoughts. We are wild over here. All right. Thank y'all for coming through. Help out. We got a whole group of panel.
Doing God's work.
Yeah, exactly. We got a whole panel for y'all today. We got more questions. Single or married, which is better, is the topic for today. Update on Auntie J's situation. JP called me and he said he sent the money back. So good on him.
Nah,
you call him.
Shout out to JP for that one.
You know he'll pop
man,
up.
He called me.
He called me and he said he sent the money back. Auntie J, you can confirm.
Oh,
cause look, I'm gonna tell you like this.
Auntie got to be more careful.
Yeah, Auntie J was trying to spread love to everybody, and she said she meant to send him 20 and send him 200.
Man, Auntie, look, that real talk. Auntie J was sending me that. I'd have bought a half an ounce, a fifth of Henny, 2-pack of Newports, and I had my club clearance. She'd have been out that 200, Jeremy. She'd have been out it. I'd have had a good Friday night, Jeremy. I'd have had a good one on Auntie J.
So Granville,
JP a good dude, dog. He a good dude.
Made it rain on the lot lizards.
Oh no, I ain't making it rain on the lot lizards. I just told you what I spent. I spent 100 on a half, 40 on my Henny, 2-pack of Newports cost $20. That's 60. I got the $40 to get in the club. We in there.
Who still smokes cigarettes? It's 2023. All right,
listen. I go to the hole in the wall. Look, I listen to Mel Waiters and Tyrone Davis and them. I'm old at heart.
We're gonna start this next one off with Hink.
That's my dog.
The question is, would you believe a man that claimed he's single by choice? Why or why not? You got the floor. Hink, start us off.
He said, do I believe a man if he says he's single by choice? I mean, you only can go by a man's word. Unless he proves you differently, yeah. Yeah, I believe what he say. I mean, most men can't sit there and say they single by choice because, they got options. Depends on what type of man we talk about. If a man with confidence and knows how to interact and have a good conversation with him, yeah, he could probably make that statement. I believe what he's saying. So, yeah, my answer is yes. Go ahead, Enos.
Would you believe a man that claimed he's single by choice? I'm gonna say no, and the only reason I'm gonna say no is because of when you just taking it back, growing up all the way to adulthood, going through teens, going through the early 20s. It's all the guys you hang out, and if you hang out with 10 guys, it's only 3 of those guys really doing the job or putting it down or whatever. And those guys that ain't getting or ain't doing the business, ain't getting the girls, they go off to become successful and they do other stuff. So, like, I would say no, because that choice is not available to everybody like that. So if that choice was available to every man like that, I would say that there are those that like to say, yeah, I'm single by choice. But then you get brothers like Trey, who's going to come in and then say, yeah, this is what it is, this is what it is. And I totally, like, I agree with him. I totally understand, like, the stuff, like, where Trey is coming from. Because after I got divorced, dude, I was effing angry. I mean, I was angry. It took a good few years for me to get to the space where I'm at now, where I can actually, like, girl comes up, like, she says a few things, you need to step. Next girl comes, yeah, you got a good conversation, you cool, but I'm still not the one for you. But yeah, you single by choice? I I think not. I think not. And I rest my case.
So I believe any man can get married at any age, but I mean, afraid that because I said that wrong. I believe a man can get married at any age, but it depends on his status. Not every man can get married, but any man can be single by choice but it depends on his status for him to be single by choice. There are some men life is going to deem that you be single because you don't have the capabilities or the mindset or maturity to maneuver in a relationship, and so therefore women in society won't give you the respect that you are looking for in life. But if you're a man of certain status, certain abilities, understand how the world moves and how the world works, I think you can be single by choice. It's your choice. It's your decision what you want to do, how you want to move. Only certain men can do that. Not all men can do that. I think it doesn't matter if you don't matter if you're in your 20s, you can do it. If you're 30s, if you're 40s, you can do it. But it takes that mindset.
So you, brother.
No, in the sense that if you're a man who have desire and attraction for the opposite sex, being single is never a choice. And the reason for that is most men who come out and say, look, I'm single by choice, there has to be some level of experience to have moved you in that way to make that decision. So is it choice, or have you been forced based on experience and judgment after that? So I don't believe in that. If you are attracted and you have desires for the opposite sex, and you've never exercised any pursuit for a woman right from the get, then yeah, sure, you can say, yeah, it's a choice. I don't want to be with another woman. Great. But I think anyone, as we all know in this panel, it's not a choice. You've been pushed based on an experience that you find judgment on, that it might be better to be single, therefore I will stay single, and I will make that choice based on it. But it's by force, based on experience.
So, so can you repeat the question again?
It's scroll on the bottom right there. Would you believe a man that claims he's single by choice? Why or why not?
Yeah, I would believe him, because if he really wanted to be with somebody, he'll be with somebody. But the fact of the matter is, right? Finally, I am going to give I'm going to champion some of the men, unlike other men. I'm going to champion some of the men who's gotten smarter and moving better and putting their life in order, and not just going for the okie doke with these women out here trying to take. That's all they want to do: take, and putting themselves in a better position. So if he's single, he's there. Okay, you know what? I'm going to make sure that if I don't be single, I'm going to make sure it's at my time and my place. And whatever you want to vet, or you want to call it courting, whatever y'all want to call it, right? It's a process. And those especially men who's put it all together, who got it together, it is very, very important, right? When you try to think about adding somebody to your life of value, that value has to be cashed in on. Because being single gives you the power. You have the power because now you ain't got to worry about somebody walking out on you or being tempted by the devil to take what's not theirs. You know, and this is happening way too often. Numbers suggest stay single as long as you possibly can, and if not forever. Because one thing about a great man, a woman does not define him, not divest.
All right, so we're going around the horn, right?
Yeah, go ahead, Brother Payne.
All right, so listen, first of all, I think this is age dependent, and there's layers to it. Some men, if they tell me they're single by choice, I'll believe them because I know the guy's smashing a lot. Some guys, they might say they're single by choice, but they don't have no choice. And it depends on what age you are. But let's just say the average dude who says they're single by choice because, and he gives me a reason like, I don't trust the system, I don't trust women, I don't trust this, I don't trust that. Well, we would have a conversation. So it is possible to believe a guy who's single by choice. The veracity of that choice is what's in question, depending upon the guy's experience and his age, and that's really it. So most guys, I think, want to have a woman. And here's the thing about men: we're territorial. I had a guy who's going through women 6, 7 at a time a week, but he still had the main one he tried to claim, even though he was a cad, right? So men are territorial. If there's a woman you really dig and you really want, you tend to want to claim her as a man. And if you do that, you have to put your foot out there, and you're gonna have to put your feelings out there at some point. You don't have to, but you may want to. And all I tell people, if you're a man who's gonna do that, you need to protect yourself. You need to have some kind of insurance that if this chick turns south on you, she can't take everything. And there's ways around that. And it just is. And so that's all I would say on that. So I'll land it there. This conversation I had with Anton kind of covers a lot of this stuff. It was pretty good. It's a couple of days ago. Y'all might want to see that. I wasn't at my best, but Anton was really adamant about this stuff. He was sounding like Trey, but the only reason why that didn't fly because he has a whole wife and a kid and a life that he would give up everything for. So anyway, it's interesting. This is an interesting topic. I landed there.
All right, Trey.
Trey,
you're up.
Again, we got a software issue here. A man who claims to be single by choice is believable because he lives in a hookup culture. So just because he's single doesn't mean that he doesn't have an interaction with women. We live in a day and age where women are literally hooking up by swiping right and swiping left. So just because he's single doesn't mean that he doesn't have interactions with women. He's choosing to be single for whatever reason it is. Anecdotally, I have been in several relationships, where when you have that dreaded marriage conversation, I have to remind them that I told you from the very beginning, I don't want to be married. I could have been married if I wanted to be, on more than one occasion with different women. I have to remind them, I told you from the very beginning when we first started, I don't want to be married, ever. It's not happening. But of course, like most women, they think that they can change your mind. They think that they can get you to be to be a different person. And then you have to remind them. But if a man were to tell me, yeah, I'm single by choice, I would believe him. There's no reason not to believe him, considering today's dating climate. And let me say this one last thing. This whole idea about being able to buy insurance or having prenups, it's trash. Dr. Dre had a prenup. He's paying $3 million a year. DJ Mustard had a prenup. He's paying $82K a month. There are more than enough couples and marriages where they have prenups. And the thing that you guys keep forgetting about the prenup is that one of the elements of the prenup is that it has to be fair. You cannot come in with millions of dollars and then make her sign a prenup and she gets absolutely nothing out of it. It just doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And I'm tired of hearing people talk about, oh, get a prenup, get a postnup. That's not how it works. And at some point in time, we talk about education. Well, to Hink's point, I did exactly what Hink said that I should do. I went to a divorce attorney, and I brought all of my paperwork, my titles, my deeds, and all my assets. I brought everything to him, and I sat down and I asked him, because I was thinking about marrying my daughter's mom. And that man looked me dead in his face, dead in my face, and said, "This is a bad idea. You shouldn't do it. Don't get married. You're not in a position, you will lose." So I did what he said. And if you get a good lawyer, sometimes those lawyers will tell you the truth if they're a good lawyer.
Don't do that
But
speculation. Respect that. Respect that man's opinion. Speculation. Don't
no.
do that.
It's fine. I appreciate that, John the Baptist, but it's fine. I understand that there's a lot of
What are you
guys
talking about?
who have this idea that marriage is sort of a catch-all and it's going to save everything. It's not. If marriage was so good, people would have continued the legacy. They would have continued the generations of marriage. At some point in time, people woke up and said, "This is a bad idea," and they stopped doing it. And the statistics prove that. I'll leave it there.
All right. I'm almost scared to ask, but Granville, what are your
We
thoughts?
can skip.
Yeah,
We can skip Granville. We know he's gonna troll the whole time.
man,
Just skip him.
nah. I'm about to be serious. Man. Why you in my mix like that? Why you in my mix? You hear me?
Because I
This
know
all
you,
I'm about to say.
Granville.
Look, I ain't single by choice. I'm single because I ain't find her yet. So look, go on Instagram. My name, you know me, yo, on Instagram. Slide into my DMs. I'm a truck driver. I'm on the road all the time. I could pull up in a city near you. I could take you out, love. Change that for me. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I asked. Just like I said, I'm sorry I asked. JT, what you got on it? Would you believe a man that claimed he was single by choice? Why or why not?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It depends on the man. I believe. I agree with Mr. Payne. Some dudes just can't seem to get any women at all, and other dudes are single because they got a lot of stuff to lose, or they not willing to put up with the work, or they not willing to settle for one when you can have plenty. Some guys ain't trying to play that game with a female where they act like they want to be in a relationship and then still talking to all these other girls. Some guys are gonna be honest with them and tell them they just having fun, and those are the guys that are single by choice. It just depends on the man, though.
Granville, silent up. We know you're at the truck stop trying to get a shower.
All right.
Wait, what you say? What you say? What you say?
That was you muted up trying to get a shower at the truck stop.
Nah. What you talking about? I'm in the
Somebody in
truck
the
right now.
background.
That was
Somebody in the
JT.
background.
That was JT.
Oh,
Go ahead,
All
E
right.
man. E.
see, you try to pin that crazy stuff on me. See, you always messing with me. You old heads gonna learn. You old heads gonna leave me alone. Y'all know I got jokes. You better leave me alone.
I knew it was a
All right,
truck driver.
Ikene, you're up. Would you believe a man that claimed he was single by choice? Why or why not?
Number one, a man that says that he's single by choice is lying. Men are never single by choice because the reason why is that men are always comfortable when they build legacy. A man always basks in his legacy. A man is never single by choice. But the thing is this, when people are crying for pain, we have to listen to them. So somebody like Trey, he has his reasons. We have to listen to him. You cannot force people to be in a relationship because of their trauma. The problem will continue and it's not going to end up well. But this is the mistake that we make as a society. The rich are never made to marry the poor. The rich marry the rich. The poor marry the poor.
Trey gonna laugh when he finish.
Middle class marry middle class. But the thing is this, in the last 150 years, we as a people have been trying to go against nature. You have a man that has so much talent and he marries a woman with no talent, thinking that the woman is not going to be able to do anything, but you forget that she has a mind of her own. So a woman without talent will grow up someday and find out, oh, I can get away with half of his stuff. But if you're a man of substance and you marry a woman into a family of substance, She will not really care about you or what you have because she is not seeing money for the first time. But if you're gonna marry a girl because she's broke and think you can't control her, you're lying to yourself. You're going against nature. She will live with half of your stuff. I'm sorry to say this. I have seen it happen so many times. So many times. I'm not gonna be a rich guy marrying into a poor family. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do it. The reason why is because I'm going against nature. I don't have anything bad against a girl with poor background, but we are not operating in the same level. So men have to know this. Stop preying on women with nothing when you have something, because your mindset and her mindset is not the same. If you want to make a woman a housewife, there is nothing wrong about it. Vet her really good. Make sure she is the marriage material. Because I gotta tell you, girls from poor family will do worse than girls from family that has something that are well to do. I have seen it many times. Yes, we are traumatized by our experience, but we have to learn that sometimes we are the one that invented our own problem.
All right. Let me give my answer to this.
Let me go after you, Trick. I want to say something after you.
Yeah. So, would I believe a man that claimed he's single by choice? It depends. I think somebody said it just depends on the man. Obviously, there are incels out here. They can't claim that they're single by choice. They're single because women don't want them. But then there is a biological component that Ikene spoke to, whereas it's actually biological. If people would take time to get off of YouTube, get off of Instagram, and really sit and focus, you have a biological need to not only procreate but extend your legacy. You actually want to see little ones in your likeness, whether you believe it or not. And acting like you don't is acting outside of your nature. That has been proven already. And what else was I going to say on this? I just think when a dude says he's single by choice, the reason why I can say on the side that men will consciously go against their nature to be single in this environment, one is because of the laws. Two, we talk about prenups and stuff. Listen, most men, in my belief, my opinion is most men actually do not give a shit about losing their house, right? That because a man's ability to be successful is also his ability to recreate himself. Destroy me 10 times, I'm going to get up 11. My work ethic is my gift. It is my success. I can like who the fuck is gonna say they can take everything from me? I'm 36 years old, and yes, I am 36. I will recreate myself by 40. My work
I think I
ethic did
thought we the
all of
same
this.
age.
I was gonna say I did all of this. I could do it again. I'm not worried about losing my house. I'm worried about losing my kids. I think most men are worried about losing their children to a woman. That's why. That is more important to a man because people act like they can recreate a family. I cannot recreate a firstborn. I cannot recreate a first daughter. I cannot recreate a first son. That a woman can obliterate the image that I had for that original family I created. That is why some men will stay single because obviously, as we can see from some of these answers, men are terrified of marriage. And I will tell you, it's nothing wrong with the institution of marriage. That's why I don't even like the way we talk about it. It's the people. So you're just scared of the people and their disobedience in this culture and how it may affect you. So I definitely understand it that way. Go ahead, John. You said you had something to say.
Yeah, it's two things I wanted to address. I think Polo Fessa, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing his name right. He was mentioning that men don't really have choice because they move out of fear. Whatever reason a man decides not to get married, it's still a choice. Even that choice is because even if it's responded as response to what's happening in society, that man looked at society and made a choice on how he's going to move. So I think that's still a choice. However he got there is a choice. The second point I wanted to make is this: is that if a and not that I totally agree with Trey, but I understand Trey's perspective. This is why I disagree with Trey. If you are going to take that single route, and this has come from my spiritual belief. I know y'all not gonna rock with this, but this comes from my spiritual belief. In that same verse, in that same scripture that I read earlier, If a man chooses not to marry, then he should abstain from sex. And the reason why I say this is because, and the reason not why I say this, the reason why the Bible states this is because in when you start having sex outside of marriage, it causes it's one of the benefactors of single parent homes or kids without or fathers, whatever you want to call it. It causes all the chaos. It causes the STD rate to go up. There's so many factors of having sex outside of marriage that if a man chooses not to get married, he should take consideration of why he shouldn't have sex. But I know we live in a society where this is not the norm. We don't believe this, but those all I wanted to add to that.
I bet.
I got a question.
Wait, well, hold
Go
on a
ahead.
second. Hold on.
So
Hold on. JT got a question. Go ahead, JT.
so we often speak about the construct of marriage, and I just got a question. What did marriage mean when God talked about it in the Bible? Because marriage didn't mean the same thing that it mean now. There was no court that they went to. It wasn't no paperwork that they signed. Obviously,
So
marriage
marriage.
has.
So John kind of answered it. Marriage just actually means. So look at it this way. Marriage actually means sex. The woman you have sex with is the woman you essentially married to, bro. So your baby, or if we're gonna break it down versus all the virgins, that woman that had your child is your wife for life. As a matter of fact, some of y'all got multiple wives out here. Don't even know it. All right,
So
so
you saying we don't need the paperwork as
we
long
don't
as we sticking to
exactly.
one
If we're
woman.
talking biblical, you don't need the paperwork at all. No.
So as long as we sticking to one woman, we're married.
Yep.
If we can
Long as
go
you
by
make
that code, why
long
is everybody
okay, so
switching it
I
then?
hold
have
on. Let me answer that, JT. There should be some ceremony where there's a witness.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm not saying that you got to go before the state and sign the state papers. That's what you have to work their part out. What I'm saying is there should be a ceremony where someone recognizes and there is a witness that you are married, according to
okay.
biblical standards.
I
Um,
have an answer to I have an answer to what was just asked. This is why marriage was invented by both God and nature. The reason why marriage was invented by both God and nature was what we call order. There has to be order
Yep.
in everything we do. I was having a conversation with somebody, with my brother last week, and he said to me, "Why was religion created? Why was religion created? Religion is not a good thing." I said to him, "No, religion was created to bring about order.
Yep.
God created marriage to bring about order. Look at a country like United States that has almost 75% of unmarried that's kids born on
Niggas.
unmarried situation.
Unmarried niggas.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Look at how dysfunction those children are. Look at how dysfunction the women that brought the children are. But if all those women should be under the care of a man, that is order. So marriage is order. Unmarried is disorderly.
okay, but according to what y'all saying, then nobody should be judging a man that been with the woman for 12 years and ain't decided to put a ring on her hand yet. According to
That's a
y'all
false.
logic,
That's a false
if
statement.
that's but
When
what
you
y'all just
when
say.
JT, listen, please. When you deal with a woman, from the very first day you deal with a woman and you don't have that woman covered through some sort of marriage engagement, that's disorderly because she can leave, you can leave. But when you marry that woman, there is an order that automatically comes into you. I don't know if you married before, but when you get married to somebody, it introduces the sense of orderliness into you. It's called order. If you're not married to a woman, there is no order. When you marry
That's a
a woman,
social
there is order.
construct, though.
It's
Like
not social construct.
I'm
It's
saying
natural. It's natural.
when the Bible was made, we're talking about before court. We're talking about
Bible is not
before
Bible
paper.
is not the only religion on earth. You see what I'm saying? There are other
When
religions, and all religion came together and agreed
okay,
that
so now, but
marriage is
everybody bring up the
principle.
Bible when we talk about this. So everybody brings up the Bible, even other
That's only
religions.
because we're in the West.
All this stuff was created before court, before you had to have a ring, before you had to physically sign documents. So what's the difference between two people getting
JT,
together then and saying they were married
JT.
and
Let me
two
make
people
this simple.
doing it
Let me
now?
make this simple for you. Let me make this simple for you, JT. What E was saying is, and what you're getting to. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that you're totally wrong. I just want to bring some clarity to the situation.
Yeah, because it's confusing.
Correct. It is. Now, from your perspective, what you're coming to is kind of it's true to a certain extent because just because you're with the woman for a certain amount of years, well, what we're saying is the foundation of that when you get with that woman, there should be a witness saying, I'm committed to this as a relationship, this marriage. Not just gotta be by the state, but it need to be a witness, some type of ceremony to deal with this
Where
situation.
does that
But
say,
now, but hold
John?
on,
Where's
God
that at?
Almighty, hold on,
I'm
bruh.
asking you a question. Where's that at? I'm challenging
Hold on,
that
let him
there
finish.
needs to be a witness. What witness? What witness? Who says? Who says
I'm
that?
speaking to I'm speaking to
Miss
I'm
what's his
asking
name,
you
the
a
African.
question.
Hold on, bruh.
Ekene,
Hold on,
Mr. Payne.
Ekene.
Uh, uh,
Hold on.
Good.
I'm speaking to what
What I'm
Ekene
trying
was
to
saying.
do, but before he
I
finishes,
got you,
what I'm
JT.
trying to do is
I
get y'all
got
to
you, JT.
understand that this is a social construct.
I got you, JT. Hold on,
What,
JT. I got you.
marriage
Listen, hold on,
or
JT. I got you. Go ahead.
right?
I got you. Maybe talk. Go ahead.
All right,
Listen. Hold on.
I'm listening.
We have to clean that one up. State sanctioned legal marriage is a social construct.
Right.
Go back before history, okay? I've looked in history. There are 5 things, 6 really, but I can only remember 5 that are present throughout civilization: birth, death, war, taxes, marriage. Those are 2 things you will find in every book where there are people. Those things exist. All right, so it's not that the state version with the paperwork. I get what you're saying. That is a state version to recognize because of what? Taxes, birth, and death. You need record for all of this stuff, and you trace it through a man's lineage, which is attached to marriage. See how all those things are intertwined? That's how the state got involved. But even without the state involved, men and women have paired off primarily, or a man takes multiple wives. That has exists throughout history.
And
All I'm
also too.
saying is we
Okay,
are extremely judgmental to men who have been with women for 10, 15 years and have not went to the state and married this women. We judge
it's
these
not
guys all the time.
okay. True. Okay, what you're saying is true. We do that as a society. We judge based on what you do by the state, but that's because most people have been brainwashed to believe the state and the government. What Ekene was trying to say, and I know I messed up his name, was trying to say is that not just because this is built. I come from a Christian perspective, but what I find through all religions is that you'll find one thing that's consistent. They all believe in some type of ceremony that come from the belief system, from their belief system that fortifies that signifies this couple is married. Doesn't have to be through the state, it's through the belief system. So what you're trying to wrestle with, and I get it, you're wrestling with why do we judge men who refuse to go to the state? And I agree with you on that. We shouldn't be concerned about the state. What we should be concerned about is the moral aspect that it comes from the belief systems of traditional. Because what Trigger just pointed out is that throughout history they find the children, we find our lineage through men, through marriage. That's how you track it.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. That's all.
Okay, let me
I'm
let
just
me let
saying.
me let me let me let me let me
Hold on,
tell you
I
one
gotta
thing,
get I
bro.
gotta get these super chats read, then we'll start the next topic. 69 certified, $2. Why does Granville call himself Granville? Would you like to answer? Because I thought that was your name. Anyway, John Paul D. Waterford, $20. We appreciate that. Off-topic public service announcement. I am not a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist, but if Andrew Tate suspiciously gets deleted in or
Yeah,
wait, what was
deleted in
that? What's going
custody.
on?
I don't know.
Oh
Everybody
damn!
just blanked out, or am I tripping?
Oh no, I'm not supposed to be reading this. That's what it means. Whoa, whoa, whoa! The
That's what
Matrix
that
did that.
means.
The
No,
matrix is the
listen, I
matrix
said
is
the
coming for
Matrix.
you, Trigger Mike. The matrix
No,
is
I
coming for you.
said the Matrix, and that thing said. Who are you talking to? Oh nah, bro. Did y'all see that on y'all end, or was that just on my end?
Yes,
So
it happened
We
here
all
too.
saw it.
We all saw it.
Bro, that's crazy. Yeah, that was 2 on time. So we read the message. It's forever.
My
On the
real
recording.
name is John the Baptist. My real name is John the Baptist.
My name is Roscoe Jenkins. Roscoe Jenkins.
My name is R. Payne.
Yeah.
All right.
Leave me out of
We
this.
gonna
I live in Houston, Texas.
Woo. Would you believe a woman that claimed she was single by choice? Why or why not? We're gonna start with Ennis at the bottom. I'm gonna bring up True Table. Y'all keep it going around. From the
Wow. Would you believe a woman that claimed? I think that's supposed to be she.
Yes.
But in the thing says, yeah, it says he. So the typo in the question.
You meant woman.
Yeah.
She.
Would you believe a woman that claims she's single by choice? Why or why not? I believe I have to just go from my experience and what I've seen. Yeah, right. I didn't even know why I went down that road, but I was fighting a uphill battle. I was swimming upstream from day one when I did get initially married. When I was, so basically at the end of the day, my ex-wife got what she wanted. She just wanted the kids. She wanted nothing to do with me, and so she made a choice. Like she made a choice from early that she doesn't need me. She just So that's my answer, and that's my why. Like just off of her, and then the other thing is just watching people around me, sort of get on and do well and decide in what they wanted to do. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a really profound answer for that. It's just yeah, that's all I got on it. I mean, I'll probably get some more introspective, like from the other brothers when they speak, but yeah, that's what I can only come up with in a minute.
So when he dropped off, everything changed up. So we just continue with True Table there, because everything kind of changed up at the last second. Look like.
Yeah, I think True is next.
Yeah, True Table. Go ahead. You're next.
Yeah.
Who's next?
True Table is next.
Okay, that's what I thought.
How you doing, gentlemen? What's the exact question at the moment?
Would you believe a woman when she says she's single by choice? Why or why not?
No. If a woman says she's single by choice, I'm just gonna assume she's just not being picked, more than likely combative. Women who are desirable for marriage tend to not be single very long. So if she claims she's single by choice, I'm just gonna say she's probably wrestling with something to submit to natural order or something along those lines. Women who are highly desirable tend to not be single very long. So no, I wouldn't believe it. My mic is muted.
That's the question.
Hey, can you say your name again so I know how to pronounce your name? Polo, is it Palo? Palo, okay. Palo, okay. Palo, okay.
Yeah, look, I have to agree with True partially on this. Desirable women don't stay on the marketplace for too long. But then there are young women who have been raised to pursue a career and things of the sort. So maybe a conversation with them would be, deciding to prolong not being with someone to pursue a career. But I'm more in line to align my answer with True. Desirable women aren't in the dating marketplace for too long. They are not. And we don't hear about them because they follow suit and follow the authority of the man that they're with. They're not out here on social media. They're not flaunting. They're not going on girls' trips and all these things. They are off the market and they stay off the market.
All right. Mr. Rich, go ahead.
Right, just like this chat says that I believe women are single by choice more than I would believe a man. I mean, they can get piped down anytime they want, especially if they look good. But their problem is that most of them will stay single by choice until they're all used and washed up. And then they're going to want somebody to come in later on when they ain't no good to nobody but themselves. You know, they're boss bitches and all that kind of stuff. And that's where they get into trouble, especially when they're making money, because their hypergamy goes with them, but they never do the math. You know, so yeah, they could be. I'll believe them faster than I'll believe a man, unless the guy, you know, is a player and I know it. So I don't want to get too far into that. But when they get older and they want to have somebody who they can lean on, they find out that they price themselves out of the market, especially if they make money. Because if they actually make money and get into the 5 to 10% of the money bracket, and they want to look hot up, those guys ain't searching for those kind of women, you know, and then they have less to choose from, and then they quote unquote say they got to marry down, which is a euphemism or whatever, not a euphemism, but where's their big mistake at? Because, you know, they price themselves out of the dating market. Anyway, that's all I have. I landed on that one.
All right, go ahead, Ikene.
Yeah, women are never single by choice. But what happened is that in the 23rd, in 2023, or maybe I would say in the 21st century, women have been saying that they are single by choice in the fact that society rewards them for making mistakes. And society take from men to give to women when they make a mistake. Case in point, a woman will have, well, just like the other guy said, LOL, he said that the woman only wanted him for a baby. And the reason why that happens is that for 18 years, she gets to hold claim to that child for 18 years. So for that 18 years, she can do whatever she want to do, say whatever she want to do, and get money from you and get rewarded by the government. That's why she could do something like that. But if you take away the government incentive, a woman is never single by choice. If you take away sexual liberation that feminism brought, a woman is never single by choice. But let me put it this way. Any woman that says that she is single by choice past the age of 35 is a big time liar. Because at the age of 35, every woman regrets what she's done for the last 15 to 20 years of her life. She wants a man. She wants to settle down. She wants that protection. She wants that security. Maybe not the provision, but she wants the protection. She wants it, and she wants the touch of a man. So any woman past the age of 35 that says that she's single by choice is the biggest liar on earth. Women are not single by choice.
Hank, you there? Let's get Hank in there. Nah, Hank took a break. JT, let's get you in there. Would you believe a woman that claims she's single by choice? Why or why not?
To be honest, unpopular opinion, everybody said no. I would say yeah. I can still believe that with a woman. A very wealthy woman, who doesn't want to lose her assets like a man doesn't want to lose his assets. I mean, I don't think it's too hard to say that to be fair about it and say that it can happen both ways. Now, would she want to be loved by someone? She probably would, but I think when she has a certain amount of money, she can get whatever she needs on the side. She won't be fully satisfied. She'll still have a void that needs to be filled, but I think for the sake of protecting her assets, she's perfectly fine with doing that.
Granville, you up?
Granville, your young ass. Would you believe a
Man,
woman?
look, why you always coming at me like that?
Hey, Mike, I've got to drop off to the panel. Appreciate your time, Mike.
No
Again,
doubt.
always a pleasure.
Appreciate you coming up, bro.
Take it easy.
All right, go ahead, Granville.
All right, so the head go. I don't know. I seriously don't know this question. I couldn't answer it if I wanted to. She could be, she could not be. I don't know.
That's an honest answer, Granville.
Man, that was a
I'm always honest. I'm
No,
always
it was
honest.
it may not be insightful like you wanted, but it was honest though. I think that was an honest answer because he don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, coming from Granville, we can expect anything, but direct answer to the question. Come on, man, he ain't even troll us.
I always answer directly. What you mean?
You might have a point here. All right.
Man, look at see. That's what I be talking about right there with y'all.
So can I get mine in?
Let's get EBD in there. Would
Y'all
you believe a
bedtime
woman
about to
that
come up
says
anyway.
she's single by choice?
I think
we just gonna skip me, huh?
I did.
Go for John the Baptist. I'll go after him.
It's old head dyslexic. We thought we heard all y'all.
Well, I'll keep my answer pretty short. I mean, yeah, you can believe that. Well, at a certain age, I don't think that's I don't think that you can believe her. Only because if she's prioritized her career and her money, that means she's prioritized herself over having a relationship, having a family, having children. Pretty much she's made a decision in her life that she's the most important person in her life, and she thinks that money is going to kind of replace like the feeling of being complete when you're talking about having a family or having a long-term relationship. The most primary example we can see is Oprah. Oprah got all the money in the world. She's the richest, probably billionaire in the world, but there are no men sliding their DMs. And even if there were, they're not. How can she ever respect or love a man who's always going to be less than her? There are no billionaires that she can run around and date. Even though she's got them in her Rolodex, they are not sliding in her DMs talking about, hey, let me bend over and this and that. We all would have heard it. We all would have heard about it by
Oprah
now.
DMs every day. What Oprah DMs?
Yeah, but seriously,
I
if
sent
Oprah,
Oprah a message every
what
day.
Oprah
She
DMs
never
at?
But if Oprah was really like desired like that, we all would have heard about it by now. Something would have leaked out like, hey, I'm with Oprah. Somebody would have made a TikTok about
Oprah DMs every day. She just didn't give me a chance.
That's my answer though. Go ahead, John.
You don't believe Oprah? You don't believe that Oprah can have a man attracted to her?
Say that again.
I was saying you don't believe that Oprah can have a man attracted to her.
We just seen it by now.
We
just seen it by now. The richest, most wealthiest, powerful woman in the world, billionaire. We would have seen a picture of her and dude.
But she got a man. She got a man. She got a man.
It goes to the point you were making earlier. She's selfish for one. She.
Hey, yo, come
you gotta
on.
think
Let
about
me
it.
get mine
Women
in.
have
Let me
options.
get mine
They
in.
just
Hold
don't
on,
choose the
guys.
options they have.
Okay, well, we'll let John the Baptist answer it, and then I'll address what you were just saying.
All right.
But after me, he ain't got to go because he didn't touch me either. So now, the answer to the question. In today's society, yes, I would believe she has an option to be single in today's society, because in today's society, I'm as y'all know, I'm very traditional. I mean, very, very, very traditional, in biblical sense of traditional, in that women now have the authority and the power to do what they want to, where in years ago they wouldn't have had the right or the decision to make that the choice. And so now, because they have the rights and the choices to make decisions, so they have the right to stay single now. They have the choice they have the choice to make a decision to stay single, whether you agree with it or disagree with it or not. Because you've taken it from a patriarchal to a matriarchal system, or maybe in between the two. They now have a choice to make. I can get married, I can put my career first, or I can be single. They have a choice. We may not like the choice they have, but they have a choice. Somebody cut the blinkers
got
off
them
or something.
the signal lights going crazy over there.
That's that Class B driver up there. That's that Class B driver above me. That's that Class B driver. Y'all gotta watch him. Look, y'all gotta watch him. He crazy. He
Oh, you
crazy. Just
said
watch him.
class
Don't let him
B?
talk.
Yeah,
Don't let him
let's
talk
just
Yeah.
let's
about you
just
like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So based on that, women do have the choice, and well, you might not like the choice, but that's the choice they have. It's on you, Hank.
Yeah. So, plan she is. Yeah, I believe they do. I believe they do. Now they might not like it. I'm sure they wish they didn't have a choice. I wish they did had a more options and opportunity. But some of them got accepted what they are. They're gonna be a bunch of golden girls, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So are they doing it by choice? Yeah. Some of are they bitter? They hurt? They scorn? You know, and they chose to stay away from what they considered the no good men. You know, and it might have just been one or two times they was hurt, but it was enough for them to take on that lifetime ban from all men. You know what I'm saying? We also know that some of these so-called members of the rainbow community who are women chose to be lovers of the same because they was hurt by men. Not that they really wanted to probably be a lesbian. I don't know if I say it. Not that they probably chose to be that way. I mean, they was born that way, as they say, but they chose that way because they felt the to be able to be with another one of the same is more easier or more fulfilling than being with somebody who they consider is going to hurt them. So you have those situations. But yeah, the women have choice. Yeah, they got the choice. It is what it is, though. Good luck with that. That's all I can tell them.
All right, and then Trey, I think you got skipped over. So can you answer? You got an answer for this one?
Yeah, listen, we live in a land of liberated women. And in today's society, with hookup culture, I would absolutely believe a woman who says that she's single by choice, because all she's screaming from the mountaintops is, I get my back blown out whenever I choose. So if she says she's single by choice, I would believe her. And I would also run in the opposite direction. But I would believe her. Absolutely.
And did anybody else? Did we miss anybody else on this? For a quick answer.
I think everybody went now.
Okay, now JT was saying something that that I was saying earlier, but he had some pushback on it, like when I was talking about Oprah or something like that. I forgot what he was saying, but can you go ahead and repeat that? I don't know if you still have that thought.
I was saying that Oprah, she has the choice to pick a dude that wants her, but Oprah's problem is, like most women, is that she's not gonna settle with a guy that's less than. I believe there's plenty of guys that would want to be with Oprah, good men and trash men. But I think she's at that point, as far as financially, that is not too many options in her eyes. Now, in overall, is dudes that's definitely wanting to be with her. We might not be those dudes, but it's an older guy, maybe even some younger guys that would want to have their chance and their way with her. It's just she not looking at them. It's not even an option to her.
Okay.
JT, would you be one of those guys? Would you take one for the team?
Nah.
I
You had to
would.
give me a lot of cash,
would.
right? I had
Okay,
to
so
be
maybe
sitting
I
right.
Man, look, sign me up. Sign me up. You hear me?
I'll take that
Sign me up.
So maybe I
Hold on now.
reworded it.
Hold on, big brother. Troy, no, you didn't. You said you gonna marry Oprah?
Oh no, not marry her, but I get with her.
Oh yeah, you said marry?
Oh,
No,
okay,
no,
okay.
never mind.
But maybe
Man, the hell with all
maybe I
that. Sign
stated
me
it
up.
wrong, because maybe it's because maybe there are men that are in her DMs that maybe want to hook up or anything, or maybe even want to go as far as a date and maybe eventually marry. But I'm just saying she's not going to be able to attract the kind of man that's above her. And
Oh,
her
facts.
in her pool.
How do we
I
know
guess
that?
that's what I'm saying.
What
I 100%
factual evidence is there to prove that that's true?
She's not married.
If she can pull a man that's richer than her,
as a billionaire, she has that choice whether or not to be married. That's on her.
I think she would totally do it if he was richer than her.
But at the same time, you know, Oprah's calling shots. Stedman is not making any decisions over there. We know that for a fact. So
Hey, Trey, I got a question for you. Trey, I got a question for you. How many How many 65-year-old woman have you seen a billionaire willing to go marry?
She's been rich for a long time, bro.
No, and
But
I'm asking you a question.
we can. But hang
How
on,
many?
we can play. Hang on, we can play this game about her being the age she is right now. But she's been extremely
Oh
wealthy
yeah,
for a long
She
I'm
time.
was
with you
when
on
she
that
was
one.
young,
She
she
been
was
wealthy for
ugly,
a
bro.
while.
When she was young, she was ugly. Everybody knew she
She
was
may have
ugly.
to
I think
you.
when she was
Billionaires
young,
are
she
not
wasn't looking for
billionaires.
that, and now she might be.
Billionaires are not going to marry a woman that is wealthy, not looking beautiful. She's handsome. I
The
gotta
point,
tell you,
the
you gotta
point I'm making,
understand
the
that
point I'm
billionaires
making is
have a
simple.
different mindset.
The point I'm making is simple. It's all conjecture. There is no factual evidence to prove that dudes wasn't sliding in Oprah's DMs. Nobody knows that. Nobody
To
knows
have
that.
sex, but not to marry. To have sex, but not to marry.
Nobody knows whether or
This
not
lady said Oprah is
billionaires
not ugly.
were trying to talk to her at charity functions or at school openings. Nobody knows any of that.
Do you remember
You're
when Donald
all just
Trump
raw.
said he was going to expose?
gotta
Do you
stop
remember when
capping like
Donald
dudes
Trump
ain't
said
gonna
he
marry
was going
women for
to? Do you
money.
remember when Donald Trump said he was going to expose Oprah? Is she run for president? You remember that?
Yeah, but still,
You don't
man,
think a woman would
that's
get
just
married?
bad.
You don't
What
think
does
a
that have to
dude would
do?
marry a woman for
No,
money?
what?
Because
No,
we
what I'm
can't
trying
cap
to
like
say is
dudes
this:
wouldn't marry
Y'all,
women for
men
y'all,
that
money.
are,
y'all,
No,
y'all finna
no, no.
argue.
Wait, wait,
Y'all
wait, wait,
about
wait,
to
wait, wait,
argue.
wait. You're talking
Y'all
about
about to
us.
spend 30. Y'all about to spend 30 minutes arguing the wrong thing.
Right. But wait. To answer his question, no. That is a very, very small percentage of men, a minute, that would marry a woman for her money.
It only takes one though.
I know a
Very.
lot of broke guys out here
It
that's
only
sleeping
takes
on
one.
women's couches right now
Yeah, it
doing it
takes,
for money.
and there's
And you
more
talking
than
about
one.
a
There's more
billionaire.
than one,
Let
but
me
that's
give
not the
my
average man.
let me give my
No,
answer to this.
let's
So
move on, man. John the Baptist got it right,
I
man.
haven't
Let's
given
not.
my answer. I haven't given my answer. So what I believe a woman is single by choice, it depends on the woman. Now, somebody said that women say they're single by choice because they can get bust down. Really, I don't really believe. I believe the Oprah type of woman, a woman with extremely high earning potential, a high productivity woman, that woman is single by choice. But the everyday woman, no matter how good she looks, women would rather be with the man that they choose to bust them down. That is their thing. They can't get him or get in his purview without the sex, right? Because they want to be his girl. That's the way I look at it. But a dude that's really doing his thing like that, a dude that got to play on the team, she wants to be the main chick. All women can stop the cap. You want the dude you want to be his main chick. So that's why I
But
won't
hey,
say
Trigger,
Mike,
that
it ain't
they're
trigger. It ain't
entirely.
trigger. It ain't too many times I would say this, Trigger, but you wrong on this one.
but Mike,
And
you gotta let
it
me
ain't too
finish
many. It ain't. Oh, okay. I thought
Now
you
let
was
me
finished. My
finish.
apologies. I
So the
thought you was.
Oprah
My bad.
style of woman is single by choice. And I don't like when people say until she can find a man she can respect. See, y'all, there we go again, reducing men to money. A
right.
dude,
Yeah.
no one is supposed to do that. That man can command respect just by being him. Just
That's right.
because a chick got more money than me, you think I'm gonna start saying
That's right.
yes when I mean no? Fuck that. It's
There
no.
you go, Mike.
You see what I'm saying?
You
So,
earned your paycheck today.
like, goddamn, man,
I
like
agree
a
with it.
man's purpose is more than money. The issue is that a woman equates a man to money, therefore thinks she can't respect him. It changes her behavior, not his. Right? So I can absolutely see, because women worship money, money is their god. That and here's the other point I wanted to make on that. For some reason, women expect a man in a relationship to share everything he has, but when a woman has something, she wants to protect it. That is her number one go-to thing to do. All
That's
right,
why
but
I
the
made the
floor is
point
open.
that I made.
Trigger.
Thank you, Trigger. Thank you.
It's not too many times. It's not too many times that I wouldn't. I would say you wrong, but I'm gonna say you
Let's
wrong
chop
on
it
this
up.
one.
Let's chop it
The
up.
reason why I think that you're wrong with this, because she still has a choice. Now, even though she makes a bad choice or takes a wrong gamble, that's the consequence of the bad choice will show up later in life. But she still has a choice, because in her early, especially in her 20s and 30s, there are a plethora of men who are choosing to be with her, and they may ask her for a hand in marriage, and she may shoot them down based on whether she wants somebody that's high value, whatever the case is. But she's choosing. And the reason why she has a choice, because we live in a time now where we have given rights and privileges to women where they did not have it in traditional times. Traditional times, your answer would have been right, because they didn't have a choice, or choice in the matter. But now we're not in those times anymore. They do have a choice now. They just pick wrong. Well, they can't pick wrong. I'm not gonna say they
So
always
are
pick
you
wrong.
saying
I
that
agree with
women
John,
deny
man. And Oprah's
wait,
not a good example for
are
this
y'all saying that
conversation, by the
women
way.
deny marriage proposals to stay
Oprah's not
in
a
their
good
whole phase?
accomplishment. Oprah's not
I've
a
heard
good.
women deny
I can't.
proposals all the time.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I
What I'm
can't hear
saying,
you. Somebody
you're
was talking.
saying that women deny marriage proposals to stay in their whole phase.
A lot of them
Yes.
do. Yes.
Depending on the guy,
No,
yeah.
I don't.
they're
Okay.
not
So no.
getting
Hold
marriage
on.
proposals.
Man, stop it, Mike.
They're not
Depends
getting
on the
marriage
guy.
proposals, bro.
Listen,
They're not marriage material. But
Mike. Hold on, Mike. I'm not saying they say no for whole phases. I'm saying some women say no because of career. Some women say no because of whatever plethora reason you want to put on it.
It's because they want to get
What I'm saying is they have a choice now. They have a choice. Whether we
because
agree
they
with them
want a
having a choice or
choice
not.
to fuck who they want to fuck, man. Stop it.
Well, hold on, bro.
In
Hold
the end,
on, bro.
it comes
Hold
down
on,
to
hold
bro.
on,
the
Mr. Rich,
freedom.
you're getting
Hey,
hold
listen,
on.
let me say this, Mike. I'm gonna shut up. Tia Mowry left for freedom, but does anybody for happiness? But does anybody doubt that she wanted the freedom to get piped down from somebody else? Come on. She wanted to get piped down. She was out of her husband, and
She
she
could have
wanted
did that regardless,
to
though, for the
Pain.
pain.
She
Let
didn't.
me
She,
finish.
she,
Let me finish.
Bar
Let me
Pain.
finish.
That doesn't make
She
any sense.
wants the freedom
She didn't need
to
to get
get
divorced to
piped
do that.
down
Mr. Rich,
without guilt. That's
John
what she
wasn't
wanted.
She
done. Let
didn't
him
need to
finish.
get
Go ahead,
divorced to do
John.
that though. They could have had an open marriage.
Yeah.
She didn't
Pain.
have no open marriage.
He probably wasn't having that. That's what it was. He
That's
wasn't having
right.
it.
He may not have a choice the way he submitted to her.
Okay,
Well, she
so
left him, and
Pain.
He
that's the
submitted
problem
to
part
her.
too.
He
Okay,
didn't
so
have a choice. Whatever
to
she
do
wanted,
to
he
do
wanted.
The point I'm trying to make is women have more choices about. Listen, let's understand this. Women who want to be single, especially if they have looks and some means, they do it by choice because there's men trying to choose them all the time. If they look at,
Okay. All right.
they're denying these guys for
So
whatever reason.
what I'll
the
say,
freedom.
Point I'm coming from.
what I'll say is because nope, I'm still gonna stay on my side. I think
Yeah, no, that's fine. You
I
could
think
be
a
wrong.
woman. Yeah, I think what women end up doing, like you're saying up to a certain point in their life. What I'm
Right.
saying is eventually all of them do want marriage, and now they
Well,
disqualify them.
but you
That's
felt
still
okay.
a choice though.
Wait, John. I think I know where you're going. I think I know what you're
Yeah.
about to say.
He's
But
saying it's still a
I think
choice.
wait.
They just made the wrong one.
I think I know what you're about to say. You're saying that they do have a choice and they just chose the wrong path. And then what Trigger Mike is saying is that yes, when they're young and beautiful, their options are open and they're not even thinking about marriage when they're younger, right? It's when they're older and their options start to diminish. They still have choices, but their choices have significantly reduced. So they want someone that's gonna accept them and wipe them up. But too many guys our age, we're not checking for the direction. We'd rather have somebody younger and we have more time with.
Okay,
Both
but
of y'all
y'all,
are right. It's just in two different
you're
times.
missing the
Two different
Trigger Mike
times,
talking
yeah.
about,
no.
he's
It
talking
does.
about after
No. Hold on.
Almost
Listen. With y'all, I think the problem I have with Trigger, what Trigger was saying is, Trigger was saying that they don't have a choice, and I'm saying they do have a choice. And the problem.
They got the choice.
No,
I think their
you are
choices.
wrong. You're
They
wrong. You're
they
wrong.
always
You're
have
wrong.
choices.
You're wrong. You're
Right.
wrong.
No,
I gotta tell you why
Definitely
you're
have a
wrong.
choice, bro.
I gotta tell you why you're
Women are
wrong.
freer than ever today.
Women have a choice, but as soon as they hit 35, the choice almost dissipates or disappears. I gotta tell you, if they have a choice, 90% of women will marry
Mhm.
after the age of 35.
you still arguing the wrong point.
Because
Okay,
the
y'all keep doing this.
I'm coming. The choice diminishes so bad. You don't understand how the choice diminishes until you start meeting women 35 years and above,
You just proved his
and
point,
you
though. You said they
find
have a
that
choice.
Consequences do not negate
Consequences of the
choices.
choice. Yeah.
Consequences do not negate choice. Now
You saying the
she
same
was
thing he's saying.
women have a choice. Now if they choose wrong. Like if a man choose wrong, if a woman choose wrong in the beginning, they will pay for it in the end. Y'all keep trying to say consequences are not
Yeah.
choices. No, choice is a choice. She made the choice early, middle, or
Yeah,
late. Now
regardless.
just cause now
now
because she's
you're
hold
talking.
on.
Now you're talking. Now you
No, I'm
talking.
not. It's not now that I'm talking.
He's saying the same thing. He's been saying the same thing the whole time.
Okay.
Oh,
You
my
guys,
bad, my
okay.
bad,
We're
my
all
bad,
saying.
my bad.
Wait. We're all
It's
saying the
just
same thing. Either
no,
way,
no,
a
no.
woman has a choice through multiple parts of her life.
Hold on. It's not now that I'm talking. It's just now you're listening.
Yeah.
We're all.
I've been trying to help
I
him
think we're all. I
explain.
think we're all saying the same thing. Mike,
I'll give
Trigger,
you
you had
that.
another question?
It's
You had
just
another
two
question?
different
Nah, I'm
I'm
about
times
sure.
y'all
to.
talking
Did
about.
everybody get to go on this topic?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah,
All
we
right,
did.
bet. Let's get these super chats read. AL, $2 is knowing lineage that important and why? Yes,
Of course it
It's very
is.
important.
absolutely
It's
it
very
is.
important.
Let's
You
stop it.
pass
For sure.
culture through your lineage. You pass customs. You pass
That's funny.
medical history. They ask you if anybody in your family ever had cancer because of your
I was
lineage.
gonna say,
Yo-
yeah,
I was like,
sicknesses.
they make medical research because of your lineage. It's like a million reasons why it's important.
The
But
reason why we don't understand. The reason why we don't understand marriage is because we don't know our lineage.
oh man, that's
Yeah.
That's true
shit.
too.
People
Right.
want reparations because people stole their lineage from. Like, come on, bro, it's important. It's important. All right.
Wait a minute. Lineage is also how these people have power and how we are where we are right now.
Exactly. They passed on inheritance through lineage. Literally, you will go to probate court and have that shit tied up in court for years while they try to prove your damn lineage. So, nah, it has everything to do with
I'm all for nepotism, baby.
hell yeah. This my guy again. John P. D. Waterford. Dude got the feds
Same
on his
thing.
last time. Let's see what happens. $5. Let's try this once again. If the Matrix glitches like that again, I'll shut the F up too. All right, let's try it again. $20 off topic PSA. I'm not a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist, but if Andrew Tate suspiciously gets deleted in
That's the
custody,
same.
I
That's the
will
same one.
be convinced that the Matrix deleted Andrew Tate and Kevin Samuels. Hashtag just saying hashtag somebody had to say it.
My real name is John the Baptist, and I live in Houston, Texas.
You watching? My name is Hink the Basement, and I'm from
Man, this man funny, bro.
for real. My man King Spark, $10.
This man
I
is
would
funny.
let Oprah put a bell around my neck. Y'all wow.
That man is
Listen,
funny,
but for
bro.
real, we talked about this already. But nobody knows what they'll do to that money in the face. Like, how much I get per month? Shit, what?
That's all I'm saying.
$5 million? God. But I told you what I'm doing. I'm not asking a soul. I'm telling my wife.
Open to the deliverance pig sound.
In fact, I'm not even saying a word.
Come
I'm
on,
dropping
man.
the money off in the account and be like, this is what happened. Here's how we got the money. Do you
Man,
object?
bank account get 3 commas bigger.
Yep. She ain't
I'm
gonna
not.
say
I'm not. I'm
well,
not gonna
you
lie.
had to
I'm
do what
probably.
you had to do. I understand.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Who-
probably
I'm just
gonna
want-
need that. I'm probably gonna need that honey pack.
A quick poll for the right amount of money. Who's tapping it?
Me.
Yo,
I know I
everybody, bro.
am. Everybody
Yes, man.
Everybody
Open
got
to
a
get
price.
some, man.
Yo, there is not a
Everybody's
Because it's no.
Every
don't
man
care.
would.
what's that new stuff out? Blue Chew? I'd be on.
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
Wait. I just wanted to
That's
make
what I'm saying,
sure.
Trigger.
I just wanted to make
That's-
sure that
that's-
when push came to
Hey,
shove,
hold on.
we.
Hey, EBD. I would have to get my wife's permission first, though. You know.
Oh,
giving away
man.
You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? She would be there. She would
that's
be.
why I'm never. And that's why I'm
All
never
right,
getting
no,
married because you
let's-
can't make a
let's
sound
take this-
decision.
no, no,
You
let's
can't
take a
make a
moment.
sound decision
No,
for
this is a
your
teachable moment
family
here.
without
This is
asking
a
me
teachable
whether or not
moment.
it's
No,
okay
no,
for
no,
me
no.
to do it. That's why I'm
This is
never
a
getting
teachable
married.
moment. Not even for you, Mr. Rich, but listen to this. Some guy is gonna say, I'm gonna go about this with my wife first. Women are emotional, therefore, the shock of even being asked, some women are going to say no. Then,
Nope.
God forbid you run into any kind of money trouble. She's gonna say something to the effect of, "Well, you should have just did it. I wouldn't have objected." if I did that."
Right.
You should have never told me.
Yep.
You should have never told me.
You should have never told me. You should have did
I
it. You
ain't
should have brought
saying
home a
shit.
check and never said shit.
I ain't saying shit. In fact, I'm gonna be dramatic with it. She gonna show up in the bedroom one day, and I'm gonna be throwing bills from the ceiling, saying, "You want some of this or not?" Well, how'd you get it? Don't fucking worry about it. You want this money or not? What do you think she gonna say?
Why do so many married men make it seem like they're victims though to the relationship? Like
Exactly.
Because we are.
That makes people who
I'm
not
kidding.
married
I'm kidding. I'm
don't
kidding.
want
We're
to get
not.
married.
I never hear
We're
married
not.
men speak from a place of enjoyment, but leading in the
Ho,
relationship.
ho.
Hang on. I liked it. I like being married.
I disagree with that.
I disagree with
Okay,
that, man.
I'm listening.
I've been married for 28. I've been married for 28 years.
That
And
man,
it's good
this
and
way,
bad.
this way. That man next to me beats my ass every time he hears me talk about marriage. Trey.
That's true. That's true.
Down all the time. So I disagree with that.
So truth table, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about. Because what he's saying is, if you go on social media, you go on TikTok, you go anywhere, you see a bunch of single people or you see a bunch of divorced people talking about relationships, but what you don't see really is a bunch of successful long-term relationships where they're everywhere talking about, hey, this is what we went through, this is how it worked, this is how we compromised, da 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 da. We don't see that everywhere in our face like we see the Jerry Springer stuff.
EBD, you know why? EBD, you know why?
Narrative is that women are running these marriages.
Good news. Because the reason why it's like that is that good news doesn't sell. When you say anything good news, it doesn't sell. But when you make a bad news and rocket it off, it sells like a rocket.
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, wait. There is some.
Actually, networks like Hallmark and Lifetime, they live off of happy marriages and stories that went from bad to good. That's how they make all their money. So it does work.
Trey. Okay.
Okay, I'm about to say I misunderstood what you were saying.
I just think there's a lot of married men who, for whatever reason, I'm not knocking marriage. I think marriage is a beautiful thing, to be honest. My parents are still married to this day. Their relationship is, amazing example. I just, again, I'm on the side of Trey, and this one, the promotion of it just seems to be very one-dimensional. I mean, even John the Baptist, I've listened to him talk about it from a biblical perspective, which
Damn, True, you was cooking.
What y'all saying?
The narrative of marriage is that women are running it.
You mean the modern one? You mean the modern marriages or where women are running it?
Listen,
I'm saying the overall narrative of it is that women are running it.
There are two things happening here. I do not believe every man, especially a man of age, lets his wife run the house. What I do think men do too often is put it out there to the world because they want to be viewed as a nice person that way, right? I believe that is kind of what's happening. A lot of dudes are doing this submissive speak to be more democratic, right? Oh, she run the show. I'm just here. This is her house. I just live in it. I'll be like, what the fuck? You'll never hear me say no shit like that, right? But that's not the life they live. They just be saying shit like that.
But that's propaganda, though. Like,
exactly.
It's echoed loud. It's echoed really loud.
Children will hear it and echo. I feel like people have been saying that for 25 years.
We got to take accountability. We got to take accountability how much media, not just social media, but media itself has changed society where men are afraid to speak now. So when the majority, I don't know who this Class B driver is, but every time you need to mute up, bro.
Oh man, box truck gang.
Yeah, golly.
What were you saying?
But your background noise, bro. Somebody, whoever this is. But media has changed how men move now, and it is like baffling to me how I see not just young men, but even old men, my age and older, who are afraid to say what needs to be said because they're afraid to get canceled. And so it's making society even worse to where men like True Table becoming like, men never say anything. I'm like, because we really don't, because we're afraid to get canceled.
Yep. I mean, no, that's 100% facts. That's really the bottom line. I just think it's that like that media spiral. So what you'll notice is that it's embedded in every movie now. Though if I'll strategically go on shows like Insecure, Grownish, and just look at who wrote the script, like who would say some stuff like this, and then you look at the writer, it's a woman, because they're writing things in for the way they think men should talk, not the way men actually talk. It's sickening.
And then they confuse women too, because it's like they confuse women. They confuse women because in the real world, if they're watching these shows and then they have to interact with real men in the real world, it's like, well, why is he acting this way? This isn't how I was programmed by watching these series.
Kyle, come on, Cam, real quick.
They're very perceptive to stuff like that.
And let me say this too, because here's my advice to like younger men. It's not about being like what's quote unquote called red pill or nothing like that. It's literally being a man, being a masculine man and maintaining that frame no matter what. The only way women learn how to deal with men properly is through men that don't acquiesce to their dumbass demands. If it is not masculine, if it goes against your masculine nature, maintain your frame. Here's why. Throughout, I told you, I used to be a simp. I went to a black college. That's simp land. That's simp nation, right? You do everything to get ass, to get the attention of women, to be around women. Then as I became more conservative, became the person I was raised to be, you're going to realize this. We are the assertive males who maintain their masculine frame. This is who all the women want in their 30s. They looking for us now. They love the way we talk. I've been called assholes when I started turning in to this person. Now at every barbecue, they're like, you were right, because these young boys don't know nothing about. So if you let a woman lead you into destruction, thinking that you need to acquiesce to them, they will then turn against you, call you a simp, say you can't lead anything, say you're a man of no principle. They'll do all of that to you in their 30s after they were glorifying your name for being on their side. So watch that. Watch that.
One thing you have to understand is this as a man. If you ever do something, show your masculinity and apologize to a woman when she confronts you, you lose it. Don't ever apologize for being a man. Own it. If you have to fight. If you have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. Don't apologize for being a man. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Because the moment you show that weakness, women are like female lions. If they sense that weakness, they eat you. But if you hold firm and never apologize, that's it. Because the reason why a woman would divorce a man is because a man apologized for what he did. If you never apologize for what you did, I bet you your wife will never leave your ass. She will never leave you. Because you know what? She understands that you're a man of principle and you stay a principle. The moment you say you're sorry, that's the moment you lose your woman.
Yep.
What the hell are you telling people, man?
What he said, what he said that was true. Because what he actually said was, hold on. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because what he said was, never apologize for being a man.
No, that ain't what he said. No, he said it at first, but then he said at the end, don't ever apologize for being wrong.
Oh, for being wrong. Okay, I didn't.
No. I said never apologize for being a man, not for being wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong.
That's what I heard.
Never apologize for being a man.
But then towards the end, you said for being wrong.
If I say for being wrong, then I take it back. I said for being a man.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Let's land it there.
That's for asshole.
Well, wait. Not only is he right about that, but if we are wrong, we are man enough to apologize, and women aren't. They don't have that.
I was gonna say men don't have the issue.
Men can own. We've been owning our shit. We do say my bad and stuff like that. We're not at chaos or war. We're not the ones throwing stuff at each other because we heard something. It's hey, my bad. I didn't even know it was like that. And even we just had that now. Hank, you heard what you heard. Eek and they cleaned it up. You both own it. You both just display that right now.
But you gotta think about it. That's why they don't stay friends with each other long enough.
Women, yeah.
That's why they don't stay friends with each other.
I'm never wrong. Y'all tripping.
Everybody apologize to Trey. Trey is never wrong. All right, let's get final thoughts here, John the Baptist.
Hey Trey, I'm gonna go and tell you, you've been wrong all show, man.
Except for when he was
talking. He don't like nobody.
I told Trey that.
He in so it's very easy to see who comes on the show and who is in savage mode. And a woman did that shit to him. That's the backstory. So it's very easy to see. So he a savage for life. He gonna break a lot of hearts. He came on and said he gonna smash a lot of you fat hoes. Take off. So yeah.
I apologize, Trigger. I apologize for that.
Big Shirley, I apologize.
I'm sorry, but a lot of y'all go get it before I'm done. Right.
It's so funny, man.
John the Baptist, final thoughts.
Oh man, let me final thoughts, man. What do I want to say here? Somebody else go.
All right, EBD. Final thoughts.
All right, well, my final,
married, which is
single or married. I think that depends on your age. I really think that marriage is for me personally, I would say marriage is something that you should do toward the middle or established part of your life. You shouldn't just go into it so young. Maybe if you're a woman who's fertile for kids, but if you're a man, I think you need to wait until you're actually established before thinking about making serious decisions. I think marriage is a life-changing decision. It's I think that when you got your game in your frame and your lifestyle and your world correctly, then you can take that next step with somebody else and protect and provide for somebody else and do it the right way rather than having to guesswork and going through numeric divorces and things like that. But yeah, I think it's just better decision making, and men can do that when they grow up and they have everything at least established together. That's what I'd say.
Nice. All right, King Spark. What the hell? Where you been at?
Man, I was talking to my old lady on the phone. One time I looked down, y'all had already logged in. It was 10 niggas on the panel. I said, God damn, I can't get in that motherfucker. Ain't that a bitch? But
so she told you not to call in, huh? She told you not to get on.
No, that ain't even, you know that didn't go down over here. Come on, Johnny.
You
You know better than that, baby boy.
Points earlier. I was defending you earlier, King Spark.
What happened?
Point. No, they was talking about marriage and why men need to do it, and I was explaining that marriage they kept using the Bible, so I was explaining, the court wasn't there when the Bible was created, the ring wasn't there, the paperwork wasn't there. So why would y'all judge a man and then they said that as long as the man is with one woman, then that's still considered marriage. And I said, well, why y'all judging men that stay with women 10, 15 years and don't get physically married? If they with one woman, then that's a marriage, right?
You right. JT, look, you gotta understand this about these Negroes, JT. These Negroes love them some white Jesus, okay? They love some white Jesus. They nothing better than some white Jesus.
Just watch the show back. Well, you will get the full view.
Well, look, let me tell you, man, for all y'all single players out there, man, y'all do y'all thing. Get your money, poke, stick, and move. Like my man next to me say, lead them hoes at the damn restaurant if you got to, right? Do your thing, right? But if by chance you was to run across Oprah, brother, get married, okay? Go ahead and get married real quick, okay? Take her right down there and let her know that you are in love, okay? All right, that's all I got.
Oh, man, it's funny.
All right. Hey,
man, my total statement, man, hey, do what's best for you as an individual. That's all I'm going to say. Do what's best for you, and that's it. What's in your best interest. If it means you're going to meet her at the courthouse, so be it. If you're going to be a common law marriage, so be it.
All right. Mr. Rich.
Yeah, listen, I think if we want outcomes, we need to find women, white women, big fat black women, any women who would get behind the changing the legislation. And I said, well, listen, the big fat black women are pretty loud. People listen to them. So listen, all I'm just trying to say is you got to get the white women, the same women who are anti, the A word. There's a lot of conservative women out there who might not be against changing the marriage laws, child custody laws, and all those things to stop the welfare women from getting money because they're having babies. So if we want to get somewhere, we need to take this thing off of just YouTube and actually change some stuff out there, state by state, federal level, where we can. There's already things going on. You said it yourself, Mike. I think we need to have panels talking about how can we help push that along. What kind of momentum does that have? Because we could talk about this till we're blue in the death. We know what needs to change, and it's the laws, right? We need to go back to somewhere, and I think there's a lot of women out there, because nobody would have thought that the A word would have gone away. It's going away. Who's doing that? It ain't white men. It's white women. And, maybe not black women because they benefit from it the most.
I'm kind of lost. What's the A word again?
Huh?
I'm lost.
What's the A word?
What's the A word? I'm like
abortion.
Oh, don't say it 3 times.
You said it 3 times.
You done hit the channel.
Yeah, I was trying to be good. I was trying to be panel.
He was going to make the equivalent.
Panel friendly. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so the point I'm just trying to make it on that here is if we really want to make change and bring marriage back, all of those things, we're saying marriage is no good, primarily because of laws, because a man gets hosed up and all that kind of stuff. So we need to change that. We're not, and I think if we want to start rebuilding communities, because the old black community is dead, there's no way we could recover. It's gone. It's never coming back. And we got to get rid of the Democrats and democratically elected cities and all the women that they put in charge of shit that they shouldn't be in charge of, like leading men. They shouldn't be in charge of that. And so, it sounds like I'm chauvinistic, but I'm not. It's true. Men are the ones who bring order to chaos. And even if you have a woman leader on anything, she has to be like a man. She almost has to be like a man to be effective. So why can't we just put a real man in there? So anyway, what I'm just trying to say, we need to change the laws, and I'll land it there.
All right, Trey. Final thoughts, bro.
Yeah, I mean, in the land of liberated women, there's no incentive for women to champion changing the laws. It actually works in their favor to have the laws the way they are. So why would they ever want to have the laws change? As far as I'm concerned, men have to find a way. You want to get married, fine, get married. But my opinion would always be to find a way to get married where you take the government out of it. And if you can find a way to get married and take the government out of it, then so be it. And the reason why I'm a big proponent of that is because the government has a way of tilting the scales. It's not fair once they get involved. I am a person who is on child support, and I did not have a fighting chance, and I didn't do anything wrong. Nothing wrong at all. And I did not have a fighting chance, even to the point where my lawyer is kind of looking at me with that look like, this is not going to go well. And so now I have a tax every month. All I'm saying to a lot of men is that if you can find a way to take the government out of it, do it, especially when it comes to children. If you want children, it is in my opinion, and I won't change my mind on this, get a surrogate. Find a surrogate, get a surrogate, and take the mother out of it. So that way, if it doesn't work out between the two of you, you're not paying a tax every month. It's your child. It's always been your child from the beginning. Now, I understand that there's a lot of people that don't agree with that, but at the end of the day, there's a whole lot of child support going from the man to the woman. Now, I'm not so much worried about alimony because alimony is not really a big a deal in most relationships, in most marriages. There isn't a ton of alimony going from one side to the other. And I'm not completely worried about prenups either because less than 10% of marriages have prenups. So I'm not really worried about that either. But when we start talking about children, involving children, and getting married to have children, you are taking an exceptional risk if that marriage does not work out. That's all I got.
All right. So for the 5% or less of you that planned your babies, listen to Trey's advice, because I definitely just shot up the club and got the news. So I don't know if anybody else can have that much self-control.
Trigger, don't lie. Trigger, you lied again. You was married. You was married. You was married, Trigger.
Let's go get a surrogate. Boy, I'm shooting that club. I'm not talking about that.
Nah, but he's right though, man. You got to get.
You got outside kids, Trigger.
What? No,
you got outside kids.
kids.
Okay, then so hold on. So then you just lied, there, because you actually played your kid because you had sex with your wife.
I guess so. But don't nobody, we talk about these idealistic things. Nobody has money for that. The average American doesn't have $400 for an emergency. A surrogate, you got to pay them at least the African tax, to marry my cousin tax so he can get citizenship. It got to be more than that. That's $20K. So it got to be more than that. How much is
the cheapest I've seen was $41K.
Oh,
but here's my thing though. If you're going to have a child in a marriage, how much does a child cost over the time period? If you're going to have a child and you get married and you get a divorce, you still got to pay for the child. So you're going to pay for a child regardless. So you might as well tilt the scales in your favor.
No one has $41K in savings.
No, that's not true, Mike. That's not true. He's talking about a man who has his plan on. And if that same man is going to buy a damn car that costs more than $41K.
Okay, let's move it from 5 to 10%. 10% of men.
What type of plan is it to raise a kid by yourself?
No.
That's the problem with a lot of women now. They raising kids by the goddamn self.
Hold on. Well, Hig, let me answer that question. It's already proven that a man.
Mr. Payne. No, you got to call my name correctly, brother. It's Hig.
I thought I said Mr. Hank.
Sound like you said Hank. Okay, my fault.
No, Mr. Hank. I'm sorry.
50K,
Listen,
y'all.
the point I'm trying to say is that it's already proven that most men, if they have their kids, they do a better job than a woman. That's number one. And it's close enough to almost like a couple, right? Because men know how to solve problems. A man will be able to say, listen, I need a woman to do this and that. And most men on their grind can get a woman to do womanly shit, even if he's married to her or not. You know, so what I'm just trying to say is a kid is better off with their father who wants them than a woman who's gaming the system for a welfare check. You know, so anyway, we that's a whole other topic.
Y'all have a good weekend. I'm out.
How many men have surrogate money though? Let's be real.
All right, let's get these final thoughts going on. Continuing with Ikene.
Yeah. I was listening to you guys earlier, man. Somebody was posting IVF for 15K. Do you know that IVF in Nigeria is about 3K? 3K, you can have a successful IVF in Nigeria. And Nigeria is one of the best countries with that does successful IVF proceeding for women. I'm telling you, I have a cousin sister of mine. I thought she had kids, only to find out that her kids are actually adopted. But then my sister was telling me that her brothers gave her some medication to inside her, and it wasn't successful. Then they sent her about 3K. She used that 3K to go and do an IVF in Nigeria, and now she's pregnant 5 months with twins. Okay, so final thoughts. This is what I gotta say. The world always needs stability. But to achieve stability, you have to maintain certain control of the population or control of the family. A one person cannot control a family, be it a dad or a mom. That is why the greatest tragedy or tragedy that will happen to a family is losing a parent when the kids are still young. No father prays for that. When a parent is gone, the family becomes dysfunctional. So if you have a family whereby the dad is not praying for the mom to be gone and the mom is not praying for the dad to be gone when the kids are young, why would you want to start a family with just one parent? It's dysfunctional in any regard. So marriage was actually introduced by our ancestors before the court system protection, because they see it as the only stability to the society. When you have a dysfunctional family, you have a dysfunctional society. A stable family equates a stable society. There is no way a society will function when the marriage is dysfunctional, because society is built on the backbone of a successful marriage. So, having said that, yes, women have choice to get married. They do. But at certain age, the choice diminishes because a man that is in his right mind, I'm sorry to say this, a man in his right mind will not want to marry a girl that is 35 years old. Except if he's 60 years or 50, he wants a companion. That's okay. But if you want to start a marriage or family, if you want to start a family, you're not going to be a 35-year-old man looking for a 35-year-old woman. You need somebody in her early 20s because you want to start a family. Yes, today technology has made it possible, but the mind of a man has not changed because it takes a lot to keep a woman that is 35. One of the reasons is because a woman that is 35 is very disagreeable.
Yep.
You can't control her. You can't tell her what to do. And I do hear people say all the time, oh, do you want to control women? Of course I want to control women.
True, damn right.
If I'm married to a woman, I want to control her. I'm sorry. Because if I can have certain control, doesn't mean I want to abuse her. You got to understand it's not the same thing. Control and abuse are two different things. You want to be able to tell her, no, you can't wear that cloth out. No, you can't go here. You can't do this. Because guess what? A woman represents you. If a woman wants to go out with her friends and you can't tell her she can't do that, what the hell are you in a marriage for? Because if you as a man can't go everywhere that you want, your wife definitely can't go everywhere she wants. Yes, I want to be able to control my wife, but I don't want to abuse my wife. But if she cause control abuse, then we don't have to be in a relationship.
All right. I think a man's, and you're right. You have to, so the funny thing is that when a man wants to tell you and they see your woman being unruly, they'll literally give you the look saying control your wife. Some men will actually say it, control that woman. So you're
Right.
actually supposed to have control over that chaos that can ensue. But a man's willingness to control his wife is the same as a woman's willingness to want to influence her husband. Those two things are synonymous and can be used to an abusive level. A woman would want to influence. A woman wants to influence so much that she manipulates her husband. A man can control so much that he ends up being abusive. Everything in moderation. You absolutely should want to control the situation within your entire family. That's what it's called, authority. So saying you can't control your wife is saying you have no authority over the situation. So I agree with that. Power up, JT, man. Real quick, give us your final thoughts, bro.
I actually, for once, agree with Mr. Econet. Um, I don't believe in the men getting the surrogate. Let's just be real. Like he said, that's dysfunctional, man. A child needs his mother too, just like it needs the father. Specifically, the daughters need that motherly figure for sure. So just do it the right way, vet the people out the right way, because you're not gonna know how to fully prepare a girl to be a woman like a mother or at least a mother figure would. If you're gonna go the surrogate route, at least make sure you got a guaranteed mother figure. Um, single or married, it I agree with what Hank said on that one, and that's it's really up to you. It's up to what's best for the person, but I don't believe everybody should be married. I don't believe everybody's supposed to be married. I don't believe everyone should have kids, especially. I don't think everybody's supposed to have kids. I don't think there's some people aren't fit for kids, some people aren't fit for marriage. It's 2023. Women can choose. They have a choice to be single and not be with men if they want to. Certain women, it's a fact. Let's just be real. It's 2023, and these women are doing everything that men are doing. So it would be naive to believe that this is the one thing they can't do that men can do. Um, and I'll end it on that.
All right, bro. I want to thank everybody for coming up today. Let me get these super chats read. My man AP, $5. I told y'all before, everybody has a number. They will hit Oprah. Yes, we all will. $5.
For sure.
AL. Facts. Y'all make marriage very unappealing and neutral at best. Not media, but married people online and in real life. To be honest, I can see why you would say that, but in real life, it lives different than it sounds. I guess that's the best way I could put it. $5 AL. The older and more established I get, the less marriage sounds like a good idea. I don't want her when I already finished the
Facts.
race. All right. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming through. I'm out. It's been a bomb Friday. We out on the Trigger Mike show tonight. Go on the Lapeef Experience channel. I believe we have a Chic Critique coming on tonight. I think I'm on that show too. If you're a Trigger Mike fan, please come on and watch that show. That's going to be a dope show. Yeah, we good. We'll see you on Monday. Hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Spend a lot of time with your family. Be good, be healthy. I'm trying to get on my health grind, trying to figure out some good things to do. Salute to everybody in the chat that came up. Follow everybody on their individual platforms. Thank y'all for being with us today on the greatest network. Share this out because we're on the road to 100,000. So make sure you tell everybody to subscribe and join the channel for perks. Hit that bell for notifications. Tell them the Lapeef Network is the best network on YouTube. And also, go get our brother, Mr. Let Go's game. Deeper discussions. The discount code is Lapeef15. So look for this. I don't know if there's a link, but go to the Lapeef Let's Talk show yesterday. There will be a link dropped in the live chat for this game, Deeper Discussions. You know you want to support your people, and I appreciate that support. Until Monday, Trigger Mike is out. Holla at y'all.